instead mostly.
Okay. Yeah.
And whatever fresh produce I have is from my garden.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's a little challenging here and there, but if my sister, my old sister helps, she helps. So that's been good too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, but old sister. I'm trying to think what else. Um, how else do I prepare it? Yeah, mostly for the Japanese or Chinese eggplant, I usually prepare it stir fry.
Yeah.
If it's Italian kind of eggplant, the globe, the big eggplant you see in the market, is I usually prepare by making eggplant parmigiana.
That's good. Yeah.
And it's funny that what else is there? The other kind of eggplant, not Thai, not Indian. I can't remember the other one is called. I actually had the
Not
website open. Actually, I can't
not
remember the
not
name.
Indian, right?
No, I wish. I wish I had some of that because that's really good for curry.
It's really good that way. Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy good. There's actually a former Cypress college student. She uses eggplant to make some kind of dish. It's spicy. It's creamy. It's kind of almost like a curry, but at the same time, it's not.
Mm.
It's just oh my gosh, more please.
Yeah. I've had an interesting. I got a buddy, and he was a musician, and he was a vegan, and he turned me on to eggplant, and it was an Indian recipe, and it was like sweet of all things. It was sweet and savory, and but God, it was good. I mean, man, he's just eat the whole pot.
Yep, I know what you mean. You don't want to do too much though.
Have you? This is an
Uh,
oddball question, but have you ever made a vegan soba? So it's really the dashi. Have you ever made a vegan dashi?
I don't know that they made a vegan dashi. I
Yeah,
had no idea.
yeah. Because I know that it's normally like a bonita flake in a dashi soba. I think I'm no expert, but
I know
I
it. I know it. That's delicious.
what's that?
I said that's delicious. Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Um, so it's just my daughter's vegan, so I was just trying to figure out ways to make that different vegan dishes.
Oh, okay. Well, depending which veggies you have, I could try to suggest.
Yeah.
I, I can't think of anything top of my head right now, but I could come up with a list for you later on if you want me to.
Oh yeah, no, it's no worries. I just wondered if you ever done it because I know that I've seen that. I know that with your previous girlfriend, you used to make quite a few Asian dishes.
I think they require a lot of fish ingredients, though. That's the thing.
I know a lot of them do.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Soba
It's
is like
hard.
that same dashi that they use to, I think, it's the same stuff you dip tempura in.
Okay.
So you could maybe make tempura vegan. You like maybe formulate some kind of a because basically a tempura is a dipping. What do they call when you dip something you fry it?
The egg wash
It's a
or the egg.
batter. It's like a batter. Yeah, egg wash. And vegans have like egg alternatives. So you can make some kind of a. So I don't know if Ponco or whatever that stuff is. I don't know if that's
I don't know if that's
vegan
vegan
or
or
not.
not.
It just depends on if they have egg in there. My daughter doesn't do egg. She doesn't do honey. Nothing with an
Oh
animal.
wow, honey is so
Yeah,
good for you though.
yeah, she doesn't dig it.
Wow,
So I'm always trying to find ways to prepare foods that I'm already familiar with, but in a vegan version. You know.
it's very possible to make a vegan tempura. It is.
Yeah.
Um, I can't remember what the ingredients are needed though. Unfortunately, I haven't actually made that particular vegan tempura in like years. My suggestion though, if you look at Shojin Sushi restaurant in LA, look at the
Yeah.
menu.
Yeah.
That should give you some ideas popping.
Oh, oh, that's a good idea. Thank you. Yeah, I'll tell Kate about that.
Yeah, it's called. I think it's called Shojin Sushi in downtown LA. And they had like different look at just look at the menu for ideas of what to adapt and maybe you
Okay,
could apply to
I'll
your
try
meals.
that. Yeah, certain sushis are vegan, and then I figured tempura. You could do a bunch of vegetables, and you could just
Yes.
dip it in things like ketchup and then but the sauce you dip it in, it's like I think that's bonita flake, but maybe you could use soy sauce and sugar and maybe a little. I don't know, fresh Japanese horseradish. I don't know.
Oh gosh,
Oh.
that's delicious too. Making me miss Japanese food. Hope you know that.
Oh, really?
Even though I do have I use Yoshida sauce. I know this is
Okay.
more based, but just have some fresh green onion and garlic. You're set for the marinade.
Oh, totally, totally. Yeah. I'm always thinking about stuff like that. Oh, so the question today is, flat. What is the question? I wrote it down somewhere. It's about flash. Do you prefer flash or no flash?
It depends what the subject is.
How? So let's say if you're taking a portrait of a person, what would your, train of thought be regarding that?
Okay, is this just for the heck of it? Environmental
Yeah.
portrait?
Yeah.
Just like if I'm outside doing like a street photography, let's say.
Okay.
That kind of thing? Or are you talking about like more like environmental photography, so I'm professional?
Oh, let's just say, what would most people do? I think most people would do a portrait outside, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they go find a tree or something?
I see what you mean. So just a general overall. Uh,
Yeah.
if I have an assistant with me, yes, I would love to use a flash. Softbox actually, with the flash attached.
Why an assistant? How does that help you?
I get an instant gratification of how to adjust the lighting. Just tell them move this way, move that way, position them a certain way, or hold it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
If I'm by myself, I probably replace it. I'd rather probably replace with a reflector card instead. Probably
Okay.
it'd be that way. It'd be easier to see the light right off when you're next to the subject. I guess it really depends. It really does.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, if it's for a magazine, probably will use what's that thing called? It's translucent. I mean, opaque. It's white. What's that called? Scrim.
A scram, yeah, or diffuser.
Yeah, I probably definitely use a scrim with a flash.
So scrim to turn the light softer that's coming down from the sun, and then a
Yes,
flash to sort of like
just give a
sort
little
of
kicker.
yeah, a little make it pop a little bit.
Yes,
Hmm.
it really depends. If it's a high noon, if I want to overpower the sun, which is it's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You can do that with a fast shutter speed and a really small aperture. Get pretty dark. That's what I do in my skateboard stuff. It's all that. It's like I have an
you're good.
old. Let me see. This is the. Let me try to find the picture that I. Where's it at?
You're really good at what you do for your flash with street
Oh,
for your skate.
oh, thank
You make that
you.
look easy.
Oh,
No, I'm serious, man. You make it look so easy. Like, dude, that's not easy. I can't even pull that off.
oh, you can do it. I just have done it so many times. It's just of interest to me, and that's the only reason that I'm able to do it. But like, let's see, where's that? This is one.
See,
Yeah.
you make it look easy. That's great. That's a great portrait, though.
Yeah, so this one, this was the first time I ever photographed this skater, and this was in Diamond Bar at the Diamond Bar skate park,
Wow.
and that's on a crop sensor with a kit lens, and I believe just an SBS. I think it's two flashes. I think I have an SB 800 and maybe an SB 600, both, on both sides of the camera type of thing. So it was
Looks
before I
great,
was,
man.
it was before I was, putting it on a stand. I have a few flashes I use on stands, but I do like the way this looks, even though people hate having the flash so close to the lens. It was hot, and you can just carry one thing and just just dial it in, just dampen down the sky, and this concrete's the hardest part,
Yes. Like
because
I
it's
said,
so white.
I was
But
going
you
to
kind of
compliment
know, and you get spillage, from your flash, so you have to kind of fix that in Lightroom or Photoshop or whatever.
It looks fantastic, man. Exposure looks fantastic. Skin
Oh,
tones look good.
I mean,
I
I
had no.
redid this. I redid the skin tones. Like the original was just straight out of camera. It doesn't look like this. I had to, you know, alter the image to get the skin tones correct and all that.
Yeah, overall, it looks great, man.
Oh,
Like I
thanks.
say, you're very good at what you do for your skateboard flash shots.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously, you make it look so easy.
It's just repetition. I just have done it so many times, and people like her, that's Julie Kinstrand. I was lucky, because they always wanted to go skateboard, and I always wanted to go take a picture. So it was a really great thing because like almost any time I wanted to take a picture, I could find somebody that wanted to go skateboard.
Right
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So I got lucky. So I just did it thousands and thousands of times. Just you know how it goes. I made a bunch of really crappy pictures, and then finally, like I saw some. Okay, do this, do that. It looks a little better.
I remember I was hired by a person from Texas, or she's now living in Florida. This is like years ago. She asked me if I could photograph her for her vacation photos that she's in the West Coast and in Santa Monica Pier area.
Oh yeah,
Like that's an unusual request.
yeah.
I don't know you, but you're friends with my friend. I'm assuming you know who he is because we're into the same kind of music scene, which is
Okay.
electronic dance music, all that
Yep.
stuff. And like, okay, sure, let's do it. And then she asked me, "It's okay to do it at high noon."
Right. Right.
I'm like, oh God, no. Just back in my head, like that's the worst time of the day to photograph. It really is. You
Right.
know this.
Yes.
Even though you like doing it, but
That's my
kudos
favorite
to you.
time. I know.
But I was able to. So what I ended up doing was I had to ever expose her by one stop, about one half stops over, so I get the details back
Get that shadow.
to get that shadow. So and it actually created a nice an ethereal, dreamy quality California vibe look that she actually
Cool.
wanted.
That's cool.
And that's on the sand too at high noon.
Wow.
So it's like no flash, no reflector, no assistant. This is just me
Uh,
making the best of it for her images. And
that's
sure
so
enough,
cool. That's
it
so
worked out.
cool. And no neutral density filter, like literally just with what you had to make a picture.
Yep. So I was able to get at least maybe 12 images out of 200.
That's a good rate. That's a good ratio.
I was only able to do it for an hour long, 12 to
Hmm.
1. And like, okay. Then, of course, on the way back to the top of the Ocean Boulevard, she wanted, like, do some more photos. Like, it's up to you. You already paid me. So if you want more photos, that's cool. So we ended up photographing her near some palm trees at that park off of
Yeah.
Ocean
Yeah. Oh, right there. Yeah.
because she loves her palm trees.
Okay.
So we were able to get a couple of good shots out of that too.
Now that's got to be
Surprisingly.
tough in high sun to get a palm tree on a person because, right? You got to have
Yeah.
a really small aperture for one, or get creative
Mhm.
where you put that camera.
It was hard. It was very hard to achieve the shots, especially for the palm tree.
Yeah, that'd be
And
difficult.
so I was really hoping to get a nice, dreamy, wide opening shots. I kind
Yeah.
of did by decreasing the ISO down to 50. But I noticed with mirrorless cameras, I'm not sure it's just me or not, but I noticed mirrorless cameras has issues with the sky was at 50 ISO.
What does it do?
It's weird to be like, this is overcast. You photograph the sky. It creates an unusual halo of different coloration. I can't
Ah,
describe it.
that's interesting.
It creates unusual artifacts.
Hmm.
But
Wow.
if the time of day is just right, it looks fantastic.
Right. Right.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And if you're photographing a JPEG, you could definitely see it. The unusual anomalies.
Okay.
I can't remember the proper term is called. It's going to bother me. But yeah, it was really cool to get successful shots for her.
With those anomalies you're talking about on JPEG, could you, blur that out with some kind of on Photoshop or use some kind of?
No,
No, you couldn't.
but for raw files, I'm sure I would have been able to, but
Yeah.
she needed files on the go.
Oh, okay. Quick.
So it worked out either way. She was happy with
Awesome. That's all that
her
matters. Yeah.
treatment.
Yeah. The client's happy, then job's done, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's an usual request though.
yeah. I mean, I always tell my kids, on your camera, I don't care, like even this camera, always have the flash on. I don't care if I don't care if you're in Alaska and it's 12 noon, have the flash on because, I don't know. I
You
feel like
know,
it might fill in something or it might give you a little detail where, you know, in certain cases. Obviously it's not strong enough to do much, but I don't know, maybe give you a little glint in the eye or something.
show some life in the
Something,
eyes.
yeah. Yeah, right.
I remember
Something like
that. I remember Rob Johnson saying that. Make sure you have a catch light in the eye in the studio shots, especially for portraits.
that. Hmm.
If you don't have that little specular highlight in the eye, that little white light, it looks very, very creepy.
It looks like a shark's eye
Yeah. So
or a
I could
dead
hear Rob.
doll.
Oh, thank you. Or it looks like a Funko Pop's eye.
Huh?
Or a Funko Pop.
Yeah.
I'll show you what I mean by that.
Right. But that one intentionally wants to look badass. Where, when you're taking the portrait, they don't, if you don't know that, yeah, it can ruin a bunch. And you can, and what do you think about photoshopping the specular highlight into the eye?
I'm not a fan of it.
Right. And
Unless
why are you not a fan of that?
it's doesn't look natural. It doesn't. I don't know. I mean, if you're like a crazy good retoucher, okay, kudos to you, to you guys. But it just doesn't feel natural. It doesn't.
Right.
Because
It
you
just looks better if you get it in the shot.
yeah, it helps because when you edit your photo, don't you want to create that nice looking in the iris to make it look not too much, not too fake, but more popping.
Do you do all that stuff? You put the halo, the half moon, and all that? Do you do that kind of thing, or?
Depends on the subject matter.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Yeah,
if I'm
that's
photographing
good.
someone on the street, for example, and get like a close up shot of them, and that cool looking eye color,
Yeah,
I may do a couple swoops, like maybe like a let's see, 1/10 of the stop boost,
yeah,
just give that extra wow factor.
right.
Especially when I photograph people who have like light blue eyes, have been outdoors all day, pretty much. For
It
example,
is different depending on the color of eye, how successful that can look.
blue and green I notice tends to pop.
Yeah,
Brown can work, but you gotta be careful because it's gonna look too gimmicky.
yeah. I know that on Brown, I saw this thing. They're making fun of it. Franken, I don't know if you hear when Frank and those guys were making fun of that class where we saw, what was that guy's name? Some guy, and he's talking about he'd put like a certain color halo on a blue eye, and on a brown, I think he chose a orange halo, and it worked. But you had to really have it. Yeah, it had to be really almost subliminal.
I noticed. I think when it's like blue green eyes, it's pretty interesting results. It really is. It's pretty neat.
Right.
But for example, when I photograph myself and retouch my eye color,
Yeah.
I notice if I were doing coloring of the shirts, it makes a difference. But most of the time, though, my eyes do change colors. It's like more like a honey brown or a brown.
Oh.
And when it's honey brown, when I retouch it, it looks really unusual for me.
Right. Right.
If it's just regular brown, it's not a problem.
Yeah. Your eyes change, huh? The color of your eyes change.
Yep. Oh. I discovered this about 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
Oh.
Around there. It's a trip.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Sorry, just dusting. I'm debating if I put the air conditioning on or not.
Oh yeah, how's that? How you faring with this weather?
Honestly, I've been holding up okay.
Yeah,
Um, I'm more worried about mom, of course,
yeah,
but she's downstairs. She's going down there, so that's good. I'm happy for that.
uh-huh.
But for the most part, I'm okay. I'm holding up okay. I'm really thankful to say that. Um, I had not used the AC unit in the room yet, which is good because I don't want to use it yet. It makes
Because
any
of the
sense.
cost, or bothers your allergies, or
Allergies, the cost. Um, I do have rotating fans in here. I do have,
okay, that helps a lot.
yeah. I mean, it's. I don't like to. It does get hot in here. I'm
Yeah,
like when I had that heat wave like 2 years ago. It was about 110 degrees. I'm not sure you remember that. It was really
vaguely.
hot.
Yeah,
It was like 108, 110 around there.
yeah.
It was hot in my room. It was like maybe 95 degrees. I had no AC unit. That's when I had like three fans in my bedroom sitting up. It
That's
was
rough.
nuts. It
That
was
can be rough.
nuts
Yeah, that can be rough.
because when about maybe about 2 o'clock, the sun position is hitting the wall of my room,
Uh-huh.
and I could feel that heat. So what I did to beat the another reason I not having the AC on relates to this because I've been investing in cold pillows. It has cold gel or a cool natural cool surface.
Okay.
That's been helping me a lot, and that's been, in my opinion, I think that's been pretty cost and effective, saving money. In
Right.
my opinion,
That
just
what prevents that gel from heating up? Is it some kind of antifreeze, or what? Is it somehow disperse the heat?
I don't know. There's really a gel in here. I think it's just how it's made.
Okay.
I don't. It's really indescribable. It's like chopped up fibers inside. I think that's what's inside, and it just feels actually cool. Just how it's weird. Right now, it's like how cold is that? Maybe that's like 75 degrees, maybe
Yeah,
74 degrees. When
that's a nice temp for me.
it's comfortable.
Yep.
I can live with it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Sorry, I was just blanking out. I know when I did use an actual gel pillow at one time, it worked, but at the same time, it didn't. When it became hot outside and when the pillows felt warm, it was muggy. It was
Mhm.
nasty.
Right. Right. Yeah. Another thing that can help is you just get a spray bottle, you put some water in there, and then when you go to bed, you just spray the sheets with a light mist, and then when you lay down because of condensation, really cools you down. I'm famous for having a bucket hat on, just saturated in water, like if I'm shooting pictures, because most of the time I'm out in this, shooting skateboarding, and it's rough because the cement acts sort of like at skate parks they're concave, and so it acts like a parabolic dish, and kind of not only is the sun hitting you this way, but
I
it's kind
can't
of like
imagine.
a big fat chicken in a chicken cooker, you know.
Wow.
Sometimes I feel like I'm going to pass out, so I just have to drink a lot of water and wear a wet hat and go to the shade every once in a while, you
It's
know.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely cool pillows do help. I do. I think I got this pillow from Costco, and it's like $30. It's probably the best $30 investment I've ever done.
Certain sheets help too. I remember I used to think it was kind of silly, the Egyptian,
Right. Juicy.
certain, yeah, but certain weaves, they do kind of keep it cooler. It's weird.
That's a trip. I
Yeah.
didn't think of that. Oh, what else? Other photography stuff been going on. So I'm slowly. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but this is a test run. I told Bonnie that if her sister needs graduation photos, she already graduated, by the way. Um, if she needs grad photos, then I'd be willing to. The thing is, you gotta respect my list of things, which is like guidelines, meaning
Yeah.
if you see me, you can't get near me, meaning you gotta be at least 10 feet away from me.
Yeah.
I can't show you share photos with you until after the session's done and be online, uploaded to email. Um, if you're okay with it being about 10 feet away, then you can make it happen. If you're not, then, and you got to wear a mask. Simple. It may be hot out, but you got to wear a mask. As far as a client for graduation photos, of course, you're going to be 20 feet or about 10 to 20 feet away, depending the scene is. But
Yeah.
if you're about 10 feet away, you need to wear a mask. Simple. If you're 20 feet away, then okay, you don't need a mask on, but I will keep my mask on it no matter what, pretty much.
Right.
But distance shots, like 20 feet away or greater, you don't need a mask on.
Right. That seems reasonable.
So it's just a very strict guidelines I've been trying to come up with, and of course following the CDC rules. Say, I'm sure there's no rules about photography or anything like that, but just reading what that compared to what I think common sense has a huge role for taking pictures of people. You know what I mean? So, and of course, you got to feel comfortable to doing it too, which is hard, as is.
Sure. Have you heard this thing about the vitamin D? Have you heard this? My sister was telling me that she read somewhere that, because I was saying that, I know a lot of skateboarders who go skateboarding and, they don't seem to be getting sick. So is that because they're outdoors? Is it because they're not that close to each other? And my sister was saying that it could be the vitamin D, that they're thinking that vitamin D does something to help you not get, this COVID-19. Have you heard anything about this at all, or was that just?
I had heard about that, then it faded away.
Oh.
But before this all taking place, I actually invested in some vitamin D and D3 gummies. I've actually been eating them. Maybe once a week or 2 of them per week, nothing more than that, because if I'm outdoor gardening, additional vitamin D on me can make you feel sick.
Too much of it?
Yep.
Okay.
So, and I noticed if I take anything more than, let's say, 4 per week, I usually feel sick.
Okay.
So I usually stick with 2 gummies per week. And again, each person's unique for how they should dose and how to take it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's something to consider. I also heard that T cells, which is the respiratory receptors in the bodies, actually helps too if you have a good immunity system. Which is related to vitamin D as well, or vitamin C, or elderberry, zinc, echinacea.
Yeah, I don't know. All those things, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Though. I'm not sure it's true or not. I can't really confirm that. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor.
Right. No. Right. I'm just saying.
Because
you were talking about shooting the thing outdoors, so I thought maybe that could help somebody's confidence a little bit if it's true. I don't even know if it's true or not. I mean, obviously, if you wear a mask and you don't get too close.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I know a lot of people that are out and about a lot. Maybe thousands. Well, and unless they're not saying it, nobody that I know got sick so far, and it's been months, 6 months.
Wow.
And then, if you got in the car right now and, went to Huntington Beach, it's friggin' packed, any beach, not just Huntington Beach, any beach, they're packed, dude. Like, are all those people getting it?
I don't know. That's a pretty scary thought, though, in my opinion.
But I think it's been going on way longer than whatever the normal incubation for this thing is.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty trippy thoughts. I mean, what else is supposed to help for immunity too? Bromelain and I can't remember what else it's called, but it's found in pineapple.
Oh, yeah. That's the anti-inflam too, isn't it?
Yes, supposedly that's good for immunity too. Supposedly, I don't know if it's true. I'm not endorsing. I'm just going based on what I had ate and drink before I feel like I'm coming on with a cold. I usually take that.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
You know, and we know Joey Hieta and his sister got COVID,
That's
and
right.
you know, and she, you know, recovered.
I don't know what blood type she was. I'm just curious because I know that has a role too.
That's
They're
what I've
trying to
heard.
do
They're
some
thinking
new
that.
research,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if it's true or not. But if it is, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm paranoid about it.
Because of your blood type?
Yeah,
Oh, why do you know that yours is the one that's weaker?
yeah.
Oh,
So that's another reason I've been trying to lose. I've been losing weight too. That's part of the factor, but not 100%.
yeah.
I've been wanting to lose weight since October, which I have been, and I
Yeah, I
think
know.
eating healthy has a role too. It helps.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Planting trees doesn't hurt that either.
More time.
Planting trees and digging in your garden, that helps your health.
Yeah, to re-immerse yourself to earth.
And it's physical. I sweat when we separated an aloe vera. There's too many aloe veras in this pot. And so we
Nice.
took it out and you know, broke it all up, and we planted it in 4 different pots. And you know, it was like maybe really early yesterday, maybe 9 in the morning, 8 in the morning, sweating after an hour of that, you know. I mean, digging and watering and stooping over, and you know, it's good exercise to garden.
It is. Definitely is.
Helps my stress anyways, you know, to be physical.
Yeah, I noticed gardening definitely helped my mood a lot.
Yeah.
I'm kind of right now actually this past week I actually planted some camellias and some rose bushes for mom.
Oh, wow.
So I'm hoping that works out.
Yeah.
I just hope the humidity doesn't overwhelm the camellias because I can't cook them. I think
Yeah.
so. I'm hoping that works out. If it doesn't, it's okay. I mean, I'll always rebuy it again and plant them someplace else.
Right.
But I'm hoping that works out. The roses, I didn't realize they're so small. I'm like, oh, are these the wrong kind to plant in the ground?
Oh, really?
I don't know nothing about roses.
I don't either.
So it's like, okay, I just gonna for that much money, I would assume it's a bigger rose bush.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was a little tiny petite plant.
Is that because it's a real sought after breed or something?
I honestly don't know. I'm hoping it gets bigger because when I saw the photos, it was like, oh, it's a entire rose bush. That's freaking awesome. That's how big it's gonna get.
Oh, cool.
When I got it, it was not a bush. It was like a little cutting, maybe like this big.
But you know how that is. You get a thing in the ground, sometimes it just gets almost too big.
I'd rather have it a good size just because it's something to enjoy. Although this particular rose plant is called a cherry parfait. It actually had a rose. It has a rose on it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's like maybe like this big. Like, are you serious? So I'm guessing because the plant is young. I'm hoping, and really am hoping that it survives. Really am, because I spent quite a pretty penny on the 2 roses.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna be like asking the vendor, like, why is this not working out? Why isn't it like your photos? What's going on? This is on Etsy, by the way.
Oh.
That's a good place, by the way. They do have good fruit trees. That's how I was able to find my mango tree, my dwarf mango cogshaw mango tree. And it's really like maybe 2.5,
And
3
that's
years old.
a edible mango.
Yes. It's just self.
That's in season right now, isn't it?
Yeah, mangoes. Yes. I had no
Yeah.
mangoes though. Fortunately, if I did, I'd be sharing some.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
But my neighbor has a mango tree, and he's like, "Look at this! I have a flower. I have a mango growing." He was so excited,
That's awesome.
and I'm not sure how it's working out for him. I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's working out okay for him. I really do hope so because he was really excited. He's been waiting like, I don't know, like 5 years. I can't remember what he said to me,
Dang,
but
that's a long time to wait.
yeah, I
That's
know
a
for
long time to wait.
I know with the blood orange tree I have, it's going to take at least another maybe 3 years to get fruit.
Yeah.
That's a long time to wait too.
Yeah. Yeah.
The persimmon tree, I won't see any fruit on there for another 5 years probably. The pomegranate, surprisingly, I thought it would produce fruit. I thought it would, but I don't see any flowers on it at all, which
Huh.
kind of has me worried a little bit because I thought I would see something, like at least maybe a couple flowers here and there, but I didn't see any.
Right. How long have you had that?
That when I bought the pomegranate tree, it was already like 3 years old, or 2.5 years old. I can't remember when I got it. It was maybe like 2 feet tall. Now it's about maybe 4.5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it will produce fruit next year. I'm hoping because I love pomegranate.
Yeah, that'd be yummy. Yeah. We used to have one at my house, but it was ornamental. So it's just for looking at miniature, super, super tiny.
Did it produce any edible fruit for that or no?
You actually could eat them, but I'm not joking. They're this small. They're literally this small. That's the other thing. I've bought trees before, and it says, you know, do they call it miniature? What do they call it when it's a small tree? Whatever they call that.
Dwarf?
Not maybe so, and they never are. Like we bought an orange tree. It's massive. I have this fig tree, and I cut it down to nothing. I mean, it looked like the thing was going to die. It was so small, and it's like a monster. Like there's just this thing in the backyard with 1,000 Japanese beetles and birds and I'm just feeding the neighborhood, critters.
I wonder if I've seen your tree before. Is yours? I'm just curious. I don't mean to sound weird or not, but is your neighborhood, your backyard, is it facing like a main street or no? Is it just another neighborhood?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
No. Oh, but my neighbor, no, right, no, it doesn't. But I do have a neighbor on the corner that he planted a miniature fig, and his backyard is facing the sidewalk, so people just walk by, they bring a little bag and they put figs in there, which I'm sure is helpful to him because if it's when you get too
It
many,
is a tree.
it's a bummer, because like you got to go pick it all. Some of it you can't reach, and if you don't get it, rats will get it or something, or possums.
Yeah, you gotta be quick about it.
Yeah, you got to be quick about it. Critters
Speaking
get
of,
hungry.
true. Off of Imperial Highway, near Best Buy shopping. There's a Best Buy off of Imperial Highway.
Yeah.
It's in Brea, La Habra area. There's railroad tracks that's not active anymore. But anyway, before the railroad tracks, there's a nearby donut shop, and there's a big fig tree.
Okay, cool.
I've been wanting to stop and pick some.
Yeah.
I think right now it's like a bright green. I think that's a tiger's fig. I think, I'm not certain.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to turn like a Turkish fig. I don't think because Turkish figs is mostly it's like a dark purple, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So
kind
anyway,
of brown. They're brown turkey figs.
those are dishes. But
Yeah.
anyway, let's see. I was on to the post office and told mom, "Hey, can you just pull into the parking lot so I could pick some figs?"
Yeah.
And we pulled in the parking lot. I noticed, unfortunately, there's a person living in the tree area, and I didn't feel comfortable getting near outside of the car and picking it.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
What would you do? Send your mother up there with a ladder?
Oh no, I just couldn't do it because somebody was living in a tree.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I don't know if the guy is picking it for himself or not, but from what I've seen, I don't think he is. It's like, I want to pick them.
Right.
I don't want to go to waste.
Yeah. I thought about this idea, and maybe since this is on Facebook Live, somebody will steal this idea from me. But I thought about, why doesn't somebody create a company where you harvest everybody's fruit in urban areas, and then sell it at farmers markets and blah blah blah, and feed the homeless and blah blah blah. There's so many people that have a lemon tree or an orange tree or whatever tree in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
It's growing out. They can't afford to. They're too old to trim it. So you would come in there and you would just pick all their fruit, maybe trim the thing, maybe, and then take the fruit as your payment, uh,
I
and sell it.
agree.
Because there's
I
so much fruit that goes to waste in this urban jungle we live in.
That's a great idea. That's funny you brought that up because I told my mom pretty much the same thing. Why can't these neighbors? There's actually one neighbor I know actually who does this actually. Why don't
Yeah.
these neighbors put their fruit in a box and make a sign says free or
Uh-huh.
donation box? I know my neighbor across the street. I wish I jumped on this sooner. I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah.
But she was giving away some Satsuma oranges. Like really
Now,
good.
what is that? I'm not familiar with that.
Satsuma oranges is Japanese orange.
Okay.
And
I never tried that.
there's like boxes, like box full of it. Like, Mom, she's giving away free fruit. You should go across the street and get some fruit. So by the time the evening reached, it was already empty.
Wow.
I was like, damn, we missed out. It's all good though, but that's a great idea though. Another thing I do wish too, that I wish cities planted fruit trees and just all over the place, like instead of pine trees, why not plant a fruit tree?
Yeah. And that would help homeless people with nutrition, and maybe less people end up in the hospital and blah blah blah.
Something like that. But I could see why though, because it can cause there's a lot of pros and cons to that. But I just wish there's more fruit trees around. Like, for example, I know the city in Orange County, for example, we were known for orange groves.
Yes.
And there's a place off of Orangethorpe. I can't remember, some company actually has some original orange groves, actually, believe it or not.
Right? Oh, is that on Orangethorpe? And is that like near Fullerton?
Yes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Right across the street from the Lay's potato factory, isn't it?
Something like that.
Something like it's around there. I think it's Raymond. I think it's Raymond exit off the.
Yes, that's it. So I don't understand why that company can't open their gates for people to pick oranges there.
Well, that'd be difficult because that's a private company, and somebody might, I broke my thing, or I got a stomachache from the oranges. But the city could do that. It'd be way easier, They could. I would think they could hold the liability. Or what about planting fruit trees in parks?
See, that works too.
Yeah, because they can, you can go skateboard in the park and bonk your head. They can afford that kind of insurance. Why can't they afford you eating a lemon?
I know, right?
You think it'd be
less. Yeah, that'd be such amazing. That'd be amazing if cities started doing that. It really would be.
Right.
I mean, the whole community could benefit. It really can.
He's on his two person systems. He normally has one. Oh, he's only got one today. Sometimes he has one that's the voice and one that's the picture. I don't know how he does it. Joey's smart.
No idea.
Yeah.
Hello?
Goodness.
Joe.
Hello.
Joey.
Focus. Yes. Joseph. That's what it says on his.
Yeah, it's just in twice. I don't know how that happened.
I thought you're doing something where one is the audio and one is the video. No.
No.
Oh, I was trying to play you up here. I was trying to act like you're some kind of genius.
No, I was trying to go on my laptop, but it's acting really slow right now, and so I came in on the phone.
Yeah. You have a cold or something, or allergies? You sound a little Stuffy.
I just woke up.
Oh, cool.
Right on. Lucky. I can't even sleep in anymore. As much as I want to, but I can't.
There you go.
Nice.
Nice bedhead.
Thanks. Yeah, and this
So
is
Joey,
live.
the question for today is flash or no flash?
Ooh,
Yeah, that's why I said. It really depends on the subject matter too. Or job.
And what are you eating, Joey?
live cereal.
Yummy.
Yeah,
This morning I had Spam and a flour tortilla.
this sounds amazing.
Oh man, that's crack, dude. You know that, right?
Not good for me, but I was just
That
kind of in a
sounds
rush.
amazing. I would love to have spam right now. Like a spam musubi. Oh,
Yeah. I've never made that. I eat it all the time when I go to the, Japanese market, but
right?
Spam musubi couldn't be that difficult.
It's a pain in the butt to mold the rice, in my opinion. It really is.
Don't they make little molds for that roll? Have you ever seen
They-
those?
Yeah, I actually made a spam fried rice about 3 weeks ago for Mom and I, and it actually worked out pretty damn good.
Oh, I bet. How could that be bad?
It's bad because you got to add some oil, of course. The oil from the spam is not enough, so you got to add a little bit more. You can't add one egg. One egg doesn't cut it. You got to add 2 eggs to make it very, very enjoyable.
So there's a little bit of cholesterol in there, a little bit of saturated fat.
I usually don't add the whole can. If I did, that would be very, very dangerous. And cholesterol.
No.
No? Yeah.
All right, I will be right back. I am
Okay.
on my laptop
That's fine.
and it should be joining.
Bada bing, bada boom. Gosh, spam fried rice sounds pretty tasty.
Sound good?
That's amazing.
Do I have any spam in the house? I don't think I do. It's really good, but it's bad for you. Is
There we go.
2 Joes.
Weird.
I love it.
that's so weird.
Not sure if I like left Joe or right Joe. On my screen, it's left and right.
All right.
Portrait Joe and landscape Joe.
All right, let's leave this one.
Looks
Hooray.
good. What about corned beef hash? You ever had canned corned beef
I was
hash?
going to mention. I have a couple cans of that. I've been wanting to open it, but I'm telling myself, only time I need to open that, I think, is what, God forbid, dire needs to open it.
Oh,
Because the shelf life of the can good for that is very long,
oh.
And
Is that because of
just
sodium in there? Or I wonder why it's so long.
the preservatives probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, corned beef hash from can is so good, especially if you put on a skillet.
Yeah, skillet, some corned beef hash, then you get it cooking. It's all bubbly and hot, and the those grease is splattering at you. You crack an egg right in the middle, and then
And you better hope you get some
No.
crispy.
Yeah.
Has to be crispy.
Yeah, it's got the runny egg yolk and the crispy bits of corned beef hash. Put a little ketchup on there maybe or something, or some hot sauce.
Sriracha.
There you go, some sriracha.
The chili sample.
Joey's not into the sriracha, so go back to the ketchup, fantasy.
No, I'm talking about hot sauce, not sriracha, man.
What would you choose?
I choose Cholula.
Oh, yeah.
That seemed better for a runny egg.
Any of that.
Or the one that hot sauce packet at Chick-fil-A. Hot Pete's.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
that like Cajun style? What kind of hot sauce is it?
Western? There's a cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I like Red Rooster. There's a bunch of them that I like, but yeah, and then a side of sausage, with that corned beef hash, or a side of something.
Good God.
Raul's laughing.
I can relate kind of exactly what you're talking about because I actually did the same thing. That's used to my go-to food for a long time. I think that's part of the reason why my well, and I think that's probably the reason I reached up to that 240 pounds at some point, and then that's between in 2014 and 2019. That's probably skyrocketed to like 300 pounds, probably.
Oh man, it's dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous. You got to be careful.
But for that question, Ken,
Yes.
I would say studio always flash.
Yeah.
Unless
Okay.
you ever want to light.
Studio always flash. Yep.
And then for outside, depends on the photographer. Because I know that there's some photographers who truly love the flash look, even outdoors and sunny outside, and they just want to capture that realism. And then there's people who are like me who will just shoot without a flash because I shot without a flash for many, many years. And so I know how to shoot without the flash. And then when I get the flash, I don't really know what to do with it.
So that's because okay, so you don't know what to do. I mean, you just fill the shadows in, right? I mean, if you had a flash, just
I'll fill the shadows in.
yeah, that's all I do. I try to just because I shoot people on concrete, and so that really deep shadows under the nose and eyes and neck, and because
I just put them in somewhere shady, and then
I can't do that. I have to. I was showing Raul this picture.
Yeah, you're in.
I have to. We can't move this to the shady.
Sure, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just tell them to do that on a tree.
Yeah. This one
That's a great photo.
You like it? It's a little too much flash for me, but I was just I don't know. It wasn't just starting out, but I was maybe 2 or 3 years into using the flash outdoors when I took this. So
You're good at what you do, man. Seriously, for outdoors. Zach, I need to see you do it.
I feel very naked photographing anything outdoors, without a flash. I feel very naked. I feel like I'm not, getting a good shot.
See, I just see it as too much equipment for me. Coming from the guy who brings 4x5s and films.
Right.
You need like a big tube to make it work. You're using 4x5.
Yeah. It's always about the light. It's always about. So I saw here. I'm looking here on Instagram or on Facebook, and Clifford he says, anybody interested in a Umax Power Look scanner, free.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So go to Cypress College. What is it called? Cypress College something? I don't know.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So anybody? This is on Facebook Live. I don't know or YouTube Live. I don't know if anybody's watching, but you two can fight over that.
Anyway, how many people are watching you on YouTube or watching us on YouTube?
I don't think hardly anybody. I mean, I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I turned it off already. Like I'm not even watching it.
Okay.
So what kind of scanner Cliff is asking?
He's giving away a Umax 3000 flatbed scanner.
Wow. And that sounds like a really good high res scanner to me.
Could be.
It sounds familiar. You may need. I'm not sure. I don't think that's a USB compatible. If it is, it might be USB 1.0 or 2.0.
Exactly, or it could be right. It might be SCSI, right?
It's very possible. No offense, Cliff.
Link to it. Let's see. Yeah, it's SCSI. It does look like a good scanner, though. Somebody's got an old laptop laying around that could hook it up, right?
Yeah.
I'll send you guys the link. We don't even really
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious now. I'm gonna look at it.
Check it
If
out.
you get it, I want to use it.
Oh wow. Okay, that's pretty legit. That's a really. Let's
Neat.
see what kind of
How big is it?
8x10 is 8.5 by 11.7. So it's good for transparency, plain paper, slides, film.
Oh, not good for the
What's the
negatives.
optimal resolution of it?
Wow. Okay. The optical. Wow. Okay. Yeah, the max size is A4 paper size. That's not bad actually.
Excuse me.
Push you.
I would love to take it, but I don't know how my wife will feel.
It weighs only 40 pounds.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
I don't see anything but output it takes though. That's the thing. But it's pretty big.
60
is a-
watts.
It's like just rounding off. It's like 17 by 22 inches.
Oh,
It's pretty big.
that's big.
Yeah, it's too big for my house. I would love to take it, but that's too big.
Well, that's all I missed messages. Hang on. I apologize. I'm looking at. I didn't realize I had 5 messages. Holy moly.
No, right now I'm too busy working my own stuff, and let's see, it's what month is it? August. September, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so I have like a month and a half for my first year anniversary, and then my wife's. Then the following month is my wife's birthday, and the following month is Christmas. So I had to come up with a gift for our anniversary, which I already have. I need to ask. I have like the brain teams, and so I just need to have like, hey, we need to jump on board on this.
Which ones?
And then I have so for anniversary, it's a journal plus homemade jewelry.
Nice. What
Yeah.
if Rose sees this?
She doesn't watch this. I know she doesn't. And then for birthday, it's a medal display.
Hmm.
So all of her medals she got for doing the Spartans and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. And then for Christmas, hopefully I get to build a bow and arrows.
Wow.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I heard that.
So I've been watching a few tutorials online, and I'm like, this looks harder than what it looks like to do, but they make it look easy. So
You're making all the spouses look bad. No, that's cool. That's good to have it all planned out.
I just like people say I'm a good giffer.
You are, huh? Well, that's good. What have you been doing for fun, Joey?
Gaming.
What are you playing?
Right now I was playing Grounded, where it's like kind of like the equivalent of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Okay.
And
Is it
then
all by yourself or
yeah, just by myself.
So, do you have a setup to do a live gaming?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Mixer got canceled, so they destroyed that.
Okay.
And so I had a few followers on there. I made like $3. I was proud of myself. And
Right.
then they now they're doing Facebook Live. So
Oh, cool. That's cool.
so now I do a setup for Facebook Live.
I haven't seen you broadcasting lately. Have you been doing that?
Mm-mm.
You've
Been busy.
Busy.
Yeah. I have to go home tomorrow and pick up my room still.
Right.
Yeah.
How about the exercise? What's going on with that?
We're doing that today. That's still going on. We're going slower, but doing more properly. My younger brother does not like that because he wants to get them done like quick and quick and quick.
He likes a fast pace.
Oh, he's fast paced, and we all of us have to keep an eye on him because he'll do it wrong.
Right.
And so like, no, you gotta do this. But why? Because this is the correct way.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So he likes to knock out his his squats as soon as possible, but like his squats are terrible, and so like no. So I'll get in front of him. I'm like, if your knees touch my legs, well, I'm not counting it.
Uh-huh.
And then you can go slow, and then you hold the position for 2 seconds, and then come back up.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, ah! And then I told him like, if we do this thing, you cannot whine anymore for workout. And if you whine, I'm gonna add 10 to every time you whine. And so he's like, yeah, okay. So I don't think he knows that I'm being serious.
Yeah. 40. No, each. Sorry. My son he's supposed to be in the 4th period of school right now, and he's trying to sell some skateboard gear out of the garage. So I had to give him a price on some trucks.
Oh,
Quite the businessman.
Entrepreneur, man.
Yesterday he sold a deck,
Nice.
so he's doing good. And I'm giving him a very generous commission. So,
Now, when you say that, I'm a gamer and a nerd, so when you say deck, I'm thinking of deck of cards. But I know you're a skater, so you're talking about the board.
I actually know my way, not very well, but I know my way around a deck of cards. I could do a little twisting the aces and
Can you shuffle?
I heard that.
all that stuff. I could do some of that stuff. I sat around with magic books,
Yeah.
when I was in the 7th grade and learned magic.
Can you still stack or no?
No, it's been a while, but I know guys that can Pharaoh shuffle and
Yeah.
just have complete perfect control over the deck.
Yeah. If I know where one number's at, then I can shuffle it to my advantage.
Okay.
But that's
That's
it.
good.
I can
That's
only do
good.
one.
It's pretty good skill.
I started off a really great magician. His name's Harrison Kaplan, and he
Harrison.
became very well known. And he was in the Genie magazine and the whole deal. And
Oh wow.
yeah, I used to
Incredible.
hang around Los Alamitos magic shop right there on Los
Okay.
Alamitos Boulevard and Catella. I think there's
Yeah. You want to
there's
be a musician, right?
when I was a kid, I liked magic. Yeah, one of my podcasts I did with one of the guys that worked there, a guy named Michael Weber.
Okay.
I was lucky to be around people like that. This dude's like friggin' amazing, like the Rob Johnson of magic, or maybe even beyond that. So yeah, I was lucky.
Speaking of which, sorry, I didn't interrupt. You remember I'm not sure if I told you this, Ken, the owner of Best Magic? Have I told you what happened?
You were talking about that. What happened?
Unfortunately, the owner had passed on.
Okay.
Back in April.
Okay.
I found that out.
Very recent then.
Yeah, it wasn't from COVID. It was just due to old age.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I told you that or not.
No, I know. I think we didn't know if the person had passed or not.
Yeah, but he did pass on, unfortunately, this year. I found that out like about a month ago, so ago. I've been meaning to tell you. I wasn't keep forgetting to tell you.
Or did he pass on his business?
He died.
He died, unfortunately. But yeah, he was a very cool, very, very innovative, visionary owner of Best Magic. He has the most fair prices for magic tricks, in my opinion. And his most simple stuff, like nothing too complicated, nothing latest and greatest of gimmicks was allowed to be sold in the store because he would rather prefer supporting smaller magic shops that supplies the tools for the magicians to get what they need to do to get the magic done.
Gotcha. So
at affordable prices. At affordable pricing.
So he was kind of like, you come here to be real.
Yeah, he was very real, pretty much. But as far as coin magic he was selling, it's the real deal. Meaning, he found there's a company based in Altadena or Pasadena.
Yeah.
It's called Johnson and Johnson. Johnson's Coin Magic, and it's made with real coins.
Yeah.
And it may be pricey, but his philosophy for selling real coins as magic tricks because it looks good, and it's more believable.
Right.
Well, yeah, because like coins make sound. So if you're really good with sleight of hand with those coins, I mean, like you're a pretty good musician to like not make sound.
Yes, they call that talking.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Right. We have some good nerd conversation going right here, right now.
Also, the other thing I've been doing in my spare time is reading. And
oh wow,
Ooh.
classic.
It's classic.
I never read it before, so
What?
yeah, I'm not a reader, so
Why start now, Joey?
What?
Why start now?
Time.
I'm just busting your balls.
And my mother-in-law was getting rid of this book. I'm like, no, this is a good classic book, and you know what? I have it now, so might as well read it.
How far have you gotten into that?
Chapter 2.
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think it takes a while to get into a book. Sometimes you try to make yourself do a little every day. You might catch on fire with that and really get interested in it.
Yeah. So it takes me a while to finish a book. So I had to read paragraphs over and over again to understand like who's talking, and I think
you're telling me that. You're telling me that. Yeah.
So,
but
comic books and graphic novels are easier for me to read.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a rewarding experience if you can get through it. I'm sort of the same way. It's difficult for me to start a book and stay on it, but once I really get into it,
yeah,
I don't want it to end.
Yeah,
it's a really good book. I'm kind of sad when it
was a good classic book. It's by who's that by? I don't remember.
Where the Red Fern Grows. That's a good classic book.
That's a sad book, man.
I had to read that in junior high, man.
I never read that one.
Oh,
I had to read
one
that.
could cry.
Wow.
One could cry.
Yeah.
It's like Lassie.
Isn't a story in a book? Isn't that what a photograph is? Isn't there a correlation between this big long book you read and a picture?
Yeah. Like I would say that for that to happen, like those pictures have to look like they're going on forever. Like your eyes can't focus on one thing. You're always focusing on everything, and there's like a pathway or river or something going.
Right.
So name a photo that you like that does that. Is it like your own photos? Is that actual artist that's just struck you?
Well, there's that famous photo of that war photo of that person being executed.
Oh gosh.
Like Vietnam or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
That's a heavy photo.
It's a heavy photo, and that photo, just that single photo, that's like a book's worth of information.
Yeah. That guy, that photographer, I was listening to a TED Talk, and they were like, yeah, you can't be that guy. Like every photographer wants to be that guy who gets all those shots, but like he was one guy who always was at the right time at the right place, and he got tons of Nat Geo shots essentially.
Yeah.
I'm sure his native database is quite something.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And that's a sacrifice, right? To be that kind of guy, that kind of shooter. I mean, that guy obviously, he wasn't at home for Christmas,
Yeah.
If he had kids, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he would not be, if you would not be, you would not want to be in a relationship with that guy because, I think he was always out there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was always out there. I think it'd be cool to talk to him, to speak to him about things, but
Sure.
Speaking of photo stories,
Yeah.
this is the movie with Ben Stiller. I can't remember the name of it. Something with Walter Meany or Walter, Amazing Life of Walter, something. I can't
maybe like
remember.
Walter Woody or something like that.
I don't remember. It's something
Yeah.
weird like that. But
Yeah.
if you like, that's a really good film about photography and
Yeah.
search of a photographer. It's a little comedy, but at the same time, it's just a really good film.
I'll
Really
check it
is.
out. I'll check
In my
it out.
opinion, I think it's really good. It's really well made. The visuals on it, the cinematography is outstanding, and the story is it's a little goofy, but
But the premise of it is outstanding.
True.
Yeah, the premise of that movie and what it stands for is great.
So you got to get that one you have to pay to get that, or is that on Netflix or Hulu or something like that, or?
When I watched it last was this year with my mom. It was on TV.
It
was on TV. That's on regular TV. That was a while back though. The Amazing Life of Walter. I can't remember. But anyway,
Amazing Life of Walter Mitty.
You have it.
Yeah.
Oh, you have it. Blu-ray. Nice.
Yes. Great movie.
The visual is really good. When you get the chance, you should watch. You like it.
Okay.
You may be
I'll check that out.
inspired.
I'm always looking for a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a really good uplifting film too, but it's a little aggravating at first. But the reward is cheese.
That's cool.
I definitely do recommend that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good cinematography.
Yeah.
Joey
the
Lovely
editing.
owns it.
Yeah. Well,
How
my
old is
wife
it?
owned it, and
Yeah.
No, I can't remember how old the film is.
let's see. It should say on
Like 2008, 2012, I
it
think.
says 2013, but I'm
That
not
sounds
sure the year. Yeah, 2013.
There you go.
Gonna check that out.
I don't know if it's on Amazon, Hulu, or not. But what about your wife and the movie? You're gonna say, sorry, I didn't cut you off like
So
that.
my wife had the movie, and so when we got married, it became my movie.
Ah.
Like her Xbox and all of our DVDs.
Nice.
I haven't been to movies actually.
Oh, but like talking about movies right now, I'm doing Monster Movie Nights now.
Oh, right.
CMM.
You're telling me about that.
Yeah,
How's that going?
great. We're doing Attack of the Killer Tomatoes 2 tomorrow night.
There was a second one?
There is a second one. Not as good as the first one.
How would you find that? How
Fantastic.
did you find it, dude?
My friend has his own like Netflix thing, kind of.
Uh-huh.
And so he's just like, hey, just tell me what movie you want to get, and I'll find it for you. I'm like, cool. So we have a library full of DVD of movies. Now I'm the guy who really wants to like buy the movies.
Yeah.
So I'll go out the way and find the movies myself. But once I have the money, I'll start buying them myself. But like we watched Jason and the Argonauts, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. We watched. Oh my goodness.
How about War of the Gargantuans?
We will probably watch that soon.
Uh-huh.
So right now it's in 1980s. And this one, 1970s, is when Attack of the Killer Tomatoes 2 came out.
Uh-huh.
And so we're gonna go after that. We're gonna go stepping backwards in time. So we're gonna do more like 1970s, 1960s, 50s, and 40s.
Right. Wow, that's so cool.
Like we'll watch Frogs on The Stuff.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Sure thing.
What night does that happen on?
Tuesday nights.
Oh, Tuesday night.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. Yeah.
And only a certain type of scary movie or any scary movie?
Just terrible acting movies. Like Troll
Okay.
2. We watched Troll 2. and they were just having a blast because it's just like it's hideous acting, like horrendous acting.
Right. That's
Like,
the whole point.
Oh
That's
no, they're eating her. Oh no, I drank that stuff too. I'm going to die. They're gonna eat me. Ah! It's like, oh, dude, I'm not an actor, but I'm sure I can outstage you anytime.
I love that.
Oh, it's great.
There's something about bad movies like
Yeah, and I wanted to do this because like I truly enjoy the terrible movies. Like I love the stories behind it. I love the bad acting. They try to make good, try to be good at it, and just there's something about terrible movies that I truly love. And so
That's cool.
when I watch like really good movies, I can appreciate them so much better.
Well, I feel like the Zooms they're not a terrible movie, but they're kind of like these unscripted, lots of dead air, sometimes no story. But I like it,
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it about a terrible movie that you like? Why do you like seeing people talk real stiff and say words like this?
I think it's just more like the directors trying to tell their trying to tell their story, and they went to the like DreamWorks and Disney or somewhere, and they did their pitch and didn't do anything, and there's that guy's like, hey, I can do this movie with or without you, so I'll be the ones making millions. And it's that type of heart of that movie where this guy's pouring his heart out for this movie, even though he knows he didn't get the actors he wanted, but he's still doing his best.
I love that. I mean, he does not have the resources, but he's going to tell his story.
He's going to tell it no matter what.
I love that. I mean, isn't that like what entertainment became? Like because somebody with a guy with a telephone can now make millions of dollars telling a story without any production hardly and without that's cool. And it's sort of a deconstruction visually and sonically, right? A bad movie.
Yeah. If you want to see another terrible movie, it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
It's called Velocipaster.
Oh God.
The name is like
oh yeah,
it's so incredible.
Oh yeah, it's a pastor who got attacked by a radioactive or a curse velociraptor stone, and now he turns into it's like the curse of werewolf.
He's a monster. He's a hybrid.
He's a hybrid priest monster.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
And he's friends with a hooker or something like that.
Right. Just every bad.
God, that's even worse.
Did they just do that on purpose? Is it like?
I don't know. I was watching it with a couple buddies of mine. We're having a couple beers. And this is like the greatest movie. Like one of the greatest A-list B movies I've seen. So
Velocipaster.
Velocipaster.
Man.
I wish I remember this name of the film. This was back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back in 2010. But this movie was actually from the 70s. It's some weird Polish, scary movie. It was never released to the United States till that day. They got permission finally and made it happen. I can't remember the name of it, but man, it was weird as hell, man.
So like a psychotic made this movie, or what? What do you mean?
It's like a classic 70s horror film, but it was banned in the United States because it was just so disturbing.
Okay.
And if I remember the name of it, I'd be happy to share it, but it's just, maybe I could ask that person who introduced it to me. Maybe I could find out. Yeah, maybe message this person and ask, see if I could get the name of it. But once I do now, I just guys know. But
is it
man,
Battle Royale?
Battle
Royale?
Is it?
No, it's not. That's a Japanese. I think it's a Japanese movie.
No,
Wouldn't it be interesting to make a photo challenge where you had to produce the worst photo you could produce?
That'd be fun.
Damn. Worst photo
Sharknado.
possible. Well, okay.
Yeah,
I think
literally, you have to produce the worst photo that you can produce. Like, I don't know if it's a cliche. I don't know if it's a lighting mistake. I don't know if you're emulating a beginner, but like, you have to literally produce the worst photo you've ever made.
I think the way to be successful to do that is you got to have one subject matter. Portraits don't count because you know what to do by default. Well, maybe.
With that, with the portrait itself, like, and with that, it's still like a good photograph.
Yeah. How would you
That's just
make that?
being polite.
This could be our next challenge. Like, how would you go about making the worst photo that you could make? Well, let's just say this: what constitutes a bad photo?
Bad lighting and off-centered if it's going to be a subject.
But these rules can be broken now. That's a problem. I would know because of OC Fair judging. Just saying.
But like it'll have to be terrible lighting, like flat imagery or so,
Uh-huh.
right?
Let's do a Google search.
Terrible photos.
Yeah.
You need to find a theme to give. It can't be anything because you say anything, it won't be a solid theme. Does it make sense?
Say that. Okay. So if it's all the same type of a bad photo, that would help it.
Let's say it's a bottle of water. Photograph it. Okay. It has to be. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
Look, I'm gonna look up bad photography example.
Jeez.
Awkward family photos.
No, doesn't really count because that's too awkward.
Here we go. What do we see? Anything here? Anything standing out?
Oh, that wedding photo, man. Everyone's all
With
bleached out.
thumb.
This one here that you're looking at?
No, the one on top.
With the thumb.
Oh,
Yeah, that one. Oh,
that's not so great.
nope.
I kind of
that-
like this photo. So, look at all this negative space.
Oh, okay. So mergers.
A lot of
You can't consider-
merging, maybe
Yeah.
bad.
Well, mergers can work though too if
I
you
know.
think about it.
But this could really get you to think about photography, to produce a really bad photograph. Here's one. This one's like pretty bad.
Doing a wedding photo, have a back focus can hurt, but it can
That's
work
a
too. This
great
time
one. Back focus.
looks really
Yeah.
shifted.
There's that back focus on the third one down.
Over here
Grad photo. No, on the left.
on the left.
One more down. There you go.
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's not bad photography though.
But it'd be great if that person was doing something that you really would want to see them in focus.
Yeah.
That could be a good.
Can create
gag.
unusual attention. Like what's going on?
See, and I like that Raul sees something artistic in it. That's kind of neat. Look at that.
And look at the bubbles.
I love how it's a family and like they're at the Grand Canyon or something beautiful. They're never going to be there again. They're never going to be this age again. And oh shit, I didn't turn on the flash. I love that.
I remember I was actually at Grand Canyon 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing when I was doing photograph the sunset scene. It was
Uh-huh.
actually a photographer and a person who was pregnant.
Uh-huh.
This photographer was not using any flash at all during the magic hour.
Uh-huh.
Keep in mind, I was overlooking her shoulder, like from the distance. Like, why are you backlighting her? I mean, I get it, you want to show her she's pregnant, but
Uh-huh.
You have
but
this beautiful
maybe-
backlight.
It's like, okay. There are different strokes for different strokes for people, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, whatever. I don't see any bad photos.
No? Oh. Yeah, go to the second one. Top second one.
This one?
Yeah. Here you go, Errol.
I remember hearing about that.
So I read the article about this.
Same here. I remember that.
What's
You
the
shared
story?
that actually.
And the story goes is that it was just a bright sunny day and their faces were just bleached out. And the photographer's like, yes, I know Photoshop. I can fix your faces. Don't worry about it. Like any photographer would say that because they want to make the money. And so she didn't really know how Photoshop worked, I guess.
Yeah.
The skin carrying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so she kind of just like grabbed the brush tool, grabbed the skin tone from one section and just brushed their face.
Right. That blows my mind that somebody would think that this would be acceptable.
Yeah. And the family thought it was hysterical so much that they actually paid for it. Because like this is ridiculous. Like we look so cartoons. See, yeah, if you go through the other ones, like they're great.
Right. This is hilarious. This is on Peter Pixel. Hilariously bad family photos go
Yeah.
viral.
It's great.
It's kind of
It's creepy
scary.
weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like the dogs are fine, but it's just the people.
Right. I kind of like that. That's an interesting thing. I mean, it teaches you about photography, but in a backwards way.
Yeah.
More than backwards, I think. Ow. Goodness. I hate having sleepy stuff in my corner of my eyes. You find something new every time.
Which
Don't
one
mind
do
me.
Which one do you see?
Champagne glass is fantastic.
Not
Which one?
sure if actually ugly or photographer was bad.
Good God.
Anything here? I mean,
I'm just shaking my head.
conceptually,
There's some stuff you may not want to do not want to click on because it's not safe.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
really?
just bad Photoshop. That's not really. Oh God.
I when I see these type of photos
Yeah.
with like these Photoshop, it's like just you need to add the shadows.
Yeah, the shadows do help.
Realistic.
Shadows help so much.
Oh,
Like it doesn't have to be big. There just needs to be a shadow to bring in that life.
right.
Making shadows though, artificial shadows in Photoshop is just a pain in the butt though.
Yes.
I remember I had to do that for Cliff's assignment.
Hmm.
Oy, that was hard.
And Cliff makes it so easy.
No, it wasn't any better actually. I would know.
I was trying to look up worst photographer, but
It's not really bad photography. It's just I don't know.
yeah, I can't. These are not as funny.
It really depends on the subject matter. That's what I'm saying. You can't just. It really, I don't know. It really depends on the subject and the time of the day.
Yeah. Well, you know,
wedding photographers,
what is it?
cheap wedding photographers on top.
Wedding photographers.
Oh,
Which one?
second one down, first row.
This one?
Yep.
Looks a little soft. Yeah.
Oh,
Back focus.
back focus.
Slightly.
That has happened to me a few times.
Yeah.
Sure. Everybody.
I mean, I know this happened to me many times. And when they ask me, "Can you see that last photo you just took?" I'm like, no. It's like, why? Because we are a tight timeline schedule. That's why. If you want to see it, I'd be happy to take a photo of it when I sit down and send it to your phone. No, show me right now. No.
No.
it's really hard to say no to them.
About awkward photographer.
Awkward photography is very, very common.
Awkward. I like this one. This is pretty good here. Awkward photographer. Maybe that's more of an awkward photographer position. Interesting.
Speaking of which,
Talented photographer.
I got a laugh out of Joey.
This thing is really funny. He typed it in.
I'm still here. I'm just looking for someone.
Nothing really shows up.
No.
It's very hard to find. I don't know. It seems really hard to find anything. Hey, I found a label maker. Score.
Yay.
I could use this. I don't even had this. Wow. I love label makers. You can bring grace to that.
You got a label maker there?
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
You can label your whole room.
Yep. I should, huh? I'm actually looking for
This
length.
Yeah.
Anybody need one of these?
What, label maker?
No.
Oh,
That's
no.
for doing a long picture, right?
Is it for Sony?
Canon.
Nope. My
I don't.
wife accidentally broke my Canon, so
Oh no.
yeah.
Well,
Really?
if I see a Sony one, extra one, I'd be happy to give it to you.
Which Sony are you running, Joey?
The 6300?
Okay.
That's a good camera.
Yeah,
That's fast.
really fast. 11 shots per second.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Hang on.
that's
I'm gonna grab a
crazy
little.
fast.
I'm gonna grab something right back.
Okay.
Go for it. Ooh. Um, so I found this, Joey. If you might get a kick out of it.
Nice.
It's when McDonald's had the 50 years of Big Mac. It's a
Oh,
coin
what?
for. So this coin never expires. I could get a Big Mac out of it.
Nice.
And
You're gonna go
any-
there and someone's gonna see that and like, what's this?
So if I, yeah, sure. So if I go to like a different country, if I want a Big Mac, I could get it from there too. It's
Oh,
universal
cool.
coin for a free Big Mac, pretty much.
Is it just like brass or something?
I honestly don't know. Probably.
Okay.
It has a little weight to it.
You see how much they're worth.
I think it's like $5.
Okay.
unless they Big Macs cost $10, and it's probably $10.
Yeah.
And of course,
Oh my gosh, it's great.
I don't know if you can
That's
see that.
cool. That's sick.
It's fun.
Now,
Just
were you like of coin etiquette or game etiquette at arcades where you put your quarter down on the screen?
Yep. I
Okay.
remember that.
Yeah.
I used to do that. I think I
Comics
did that.
game.
I think I did it at that arcade place in Lakewood Mall. Can't remember the name of it. It was on the second floor near the food court. They had
Round
arcade.
one?
Mhm.
Round one?
Yes, thank you. That's an amazing place for really cool stuff.
Yeah, that 4-player Pac-Man.
Yes, that's a pain in the butt, man.
We were playing it with my friends, and they're like, "Okay, we all agree, no killing each other. We're going to defeat this." I'm like, yeah. No killing anybody. And so after we get about the fourth round or so, I grab the ultra whatever it is to eat ghosts, but you're allowed to eat ghosts and your team or your enemies. And so I just ate everybody on the plane.
Really?
Like, Joey, who said we're on the same team? Like, who said there are teams? I'm playing by the game. Game rules, fool.
Oh my god.
When's the last time you went into an arcade?
For me, I think it's been at least over a year.
Yeah. I
So
miss
what-
Nickel Nickel.
So I was always arcading, and then you know, my brother-in-law got me into consoles, and so what? So I stopped going. So what's the why? What's the allure of going to an arcade these days? Is there specific games or
Specific games.
specific games?
Yeah.
For me, it's probably the fighting games or the shooting games.
They're
It's pretty
different
neat.
than at home.
It's so different. Well, I think it's just the idea of having a crazy big screen in front of you, so close
Yeah.
to you, and have that pure blasting speakers that just ruins your eardrums.
Right. It's never a good
And
quality. It's always very loud, harsh.
Yeah.
It's like the midtones and the hi-hats are fully blasted. There's no bass involved unless you play DDR.
It's not
Oh,
gentle
gosh.
or yeah, right. Yeah.
It really depends on the game, in my opinion. When I go to the arcade, I miss Nickel Nickel.
Yeah.
The college was nice.
Yeah, that was there
That was
forever.
great. I love their Japanese games.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Japanese
Like the
arcade games are the greatest.
They were hard though, man.
They were.
Jeez. Especially for the taiko drums, in my opinion. It seemed some good success for some players. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Now you guys are younger, so what was your entry into gaming? What was the games you first played at an arcade or at home?
Nintendo system, and it would be
Which game?
Mario Brother and Duck
Yeah.
Hunt.
Donkey Kong?
Mario Brother and Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
How about you, Ro?
I remember Duck Hunt. I'm trying to remember how old was I? It was a Nintendo. It was a Nintendo system, and what was the first game I touched? I think it had to be Zelda. I think, or Mario.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda. I think.
Legend of
Mario.
Zelda was really hard for me because I was probably like, I think 4 years old.
It was challenging.
Yeah.
Definitely was. And then for arcades, though, that's different.
In arcade, what was
think-
the first game you went up and put a quarter in? Oh,
I think it was at
Yeah,
Pizza
so-
Hut. Yeah, it was at Pizza Hut. They had that little tablecade,
Mhm.
and that was Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. That was pretty old by the time you played it.
I think, maybe. But if I go further, I maybe was like 4 or 5 years old. I was with my parents and my brother at Circus Midway,
Yeah.
and they had arcade set up. And I think that first arcade game was Tron.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Then when you played Pac-Man, it was really old because Tron's way after Pac-Man.
True. So okay, so yeah, it had to be Pac-Man then, or Pong.
Pong's super old.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally played Pong when I was probably in the 1973.
Hmm.
And my uncle worked for Texas Instrument, and he had no, it was a different uncle actually. This other uncle was he worked in Los Angeles in enforcement, and yeah, he had Pong. He brought it over and we put it on the TV, the tube TV,
Mhm.
and just thought it was the most amazing miracle in the world. Pong.
Bung, bung.
Tennis.
And then my first arcade game was a pinball machine,
That's
Huh.
right.
because
It
there
had
was,
it too.
there was no such thing as digital. But then when the electronic ones came out, my first one I played was at Skatopia. It was probably Space Invaders,
That's right. How about that?
and that was like the first Space Invaders. Like they were at Skatopia, they were in liquor stores, they were wherever the video game was. They were nowhere else.
Hmm.
And that was pre Pac-Man.
That's a trip. And I think my first fighting game was at the donut shop across the street from my house, and that was Mortal Kombat. Or that was very, very first fighting game I ever played.
First
And
betting game was probably The Simpsons.
that's good. Oh, okay. That's
The
actually
arcade
funny.
one,
The
right?
cartoon, right?
Yeah.
That's a great game. So is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And there's X-Men too, and Spider-Man.
Yeah, my
Good.
friend had X-Men, so we never wasted any coins on X-Men.
Nice.
Still hard to play.
I'm trying to remember what else was there. God.
Then he had Metal Slug.
Neo Geo. That's what it was. Metal Slug was a good game too.
That was a coin eater. That was such a coin eater game.
You
Yeah,
guys are too young, but do you remember Dragon's Lair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a hard action.
Another coin eater, as Joey said.
Yeah.
True. Very, very true.
I mean, Dragon's Lair is pretty much like a DVD player now, right? You're just like
Yeah.
go left, go right.
Yeah. It's quick action.
Why did it even have a joystick?
Yeah. And the creator of Dragon Lair, that's what he wanted video games to be. He wanted them to be like cartoony adventures. He wanted like the DVD RAM.
More story.
Yeah, so he was way ahead of his time
Right.
because it was way too expensive to make something of that.
It looked like nothing else in the arcade.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
great graphics.
Yeah. That was like the days of Galaga and
Yeah.
Dragon Lair.
And when it did come out, you're like, wow, look at this game. This is great graphics. Nothing like before.
No, it was insane. It was like otherworldly.
But now you look at it, you're like, wow, this is still pretty good.
It is actually pretty. It was actually very almost like Disney-esque.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I tell my friends because I grew up with like playing like 8-bit games and all this stuff, and now my friends are the younger generations, and like they're like, oh no, I can't play that. I'm like, actually, no, this is a really good story. Like you should play this game. Outstanding story.
Yeah, good game. It doesn't matter if it's old; it's still fun if you never done it.
Like I'm watching, like I'll watch people on YouTube play Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time for the first time, and it's like, and they'll say like, I'm sure some people are on here watching me. Like, you need to go here. You need to go here. I don't know where I'm going.
Just wait till they get to the water temple.
Oh gosh, that took me forever.
Just you gotta remember, you gotta look up. That's all.
Yeah.
But
The Shadow Temple scared me the most. I got to that thing quick.
yeah,
I hated that place.
It scared you.
Oh yeah, I did.
I think the game that scared me the most was it was a Nintendo release by Acclaim. It was called Wizards and Warriors, I think.
Wizards and Warriors. Okay.
That game just freaked me out, especially in the third level. I can't remember which level it was, but it looks like he was fighting in hell pretty much. That scared the shit out of me. It was weird. And Wizards, I think that's what it's called, Wizards and Warriors, or something like that. But anyway, that game just freaked me out the most. I still have some nightmares from that game.
Yeah, they can be very. What do they call them? You really get sucked into a game, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially for VR. It's crazy. So get this. I was very fortunate to attend Sony conference, E3 conference one year.
Yeah.
As media.
Nice.
And
fake news.
That year, that's when they introduced VR to the PS3 or PS4.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was PS4. Yeah, it was PS4. And of course, I was like, wow, that's really cool. I didn't know anything about VR at the time, and like, please educate me. So as talking to Sony reps, just can you talk me through it? Yeah, sure. This is how it works. This is what you do, and this is a headset you put on. Need help? I'm like, yeah, because I had no idea, I'm like, okay, yeah, help me out. So the first game I played was is like it's like Gundam, but you're like a very like 50-story tall robot, but playing golf through the cities. It's really strange. But this is the thing though. Once I was started to play, I was so overwhelmed of like, whoa, I'm so tall, like crazy tall. Like, what's going on? I'm like, holy shit, like saying holy shit, like every 5 minutes. Because you get to play for like, the demo time is about like 15 minutes long or 20 minutes long. I can't remember for how long for media, but man, it was a trip. I'm like, this is a crazy evolution for gaming. It kind of remind me of Virtual Boy for Nintendo, but on steroids.
Yeah,
it was insane.
So
I would never. So when I finished, I told the representative, like, okay, I can't play anymore. I can't take this anymore. This is too overwhelming for me. I can't. My brain processing is just like overload, and like
real.
It was very surreal. Then of course I had different games you could play too, like you're in like some kind of minecart and fighting off zombie clowns. Whoa. No thank you. No thanks. I just passed on that. But either way, it was just like, yeah, VR really gave me a trip that I didn't really appreciate. I guess I think it was too advanced for me, and I'm still old school. I enjoy the two-dimensional, barely polygon shape 3D graphics. Anything more than that,
there is a game I've been wanting to play on VR, and that's Alien Isolation.
That sounds
kind of intense.
So Alien Isolation is based off the story Alien from Ridley Scott.
Yep.
Oh.
Right. So it takes place between 1 and 2.
Okay.
Alien and Aliens. So it takes place between those two movies.
Yep.
In that 50-year gap, and it talks about Ripley's daughter. So you play as Ripley's daughter in the game, and she's looking for her mom. And so in the game, you go to this this essentially an airport for spacecrafts.
Yeah.
But that one got an alien, and so you're supposed to find out like what happened and everything. And so without VR, it's kind of like a hide and seek game. But with the VR, your voice, they take your voice and your breathing to consideration. And so you cannot be loud and you cannot breathe heavy. The alien will find you.
That's killer.
And I watch people play it, and they're like, oh. And like you see, like just the head of the character, like, no, there, the alien's in there.
No, thank you.
Oh, I love the game. I have not beaten it yet, but I love the game.
That's awesome.
Have you guys used video games to, escape things like COVID-19 or just daily?
Yeah.
Right. It's like watching a TV show, right? It's kind of immersive.
Yeah.
A little break.
I do own a Nintendo Switch. I do own a Nintendo 3DS, but I haven't touched it since March.
Well, why is that?
I can't handle intense imagery right now. I just can't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the games you have are kind of graphic?
It's more like, let's see, I have Legend of Zelda, for example, or Luigi's Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Just fun overall, good games, But or Skyrim, for example, or Mario Kart should be okay, but
yeah.
In terms of other like fighting games or extreme first player action kind of games,
yeah,
or open sandbox kind of games, meaning like big adventure games, I really can't bring myself to handle such violence. it's just very sensitive more than ever, and that has a role to it. And the fact of it seems like time is very precious. Seems like I gotta appreciate the smaller things in life than just video gaming. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's weird. It's really complicated. I mean, I love to play games again. I really do. It's kind of like photography. I can't bring myself to become that busy. I can immerse myself into some activity of some sort. It has to be something more productive, I guess you can say. Something more worthy. This is just my opinion. If you guys play games, that's awesome. I'm very happy for you guys. I'm a little envious, and I'm not gonna lie. But I just wish I could immerse myself into video games again, because that was a nice escape for any stressful situation. But it seems like today's standards of stress is way up there, and it's just hard to escape from reality, I guess you can say.
I've been working on this post. It's not published yet, but see, I can share it with you. And it kind of talks about what you're talking about a little bit, because I've been trying to figure that out myself. So this is just between us and whoever's on Facebook Live. It's no big deal. It's just a post. I highlighted what I was thinking, and I was kind of actually inspired by something my daughter said. But right down here in the blue. Place to share normal content.
Yeah.
Now the world is not normal, and so normal content is no longer interesting. Is there something? Does that ring a bell at all? Is that maybe because I was not able to photograph? I'm still not able to photograph skateboarding. I'm just not interested in doing it. Is it because
I think
of rules?
because since we're home now, our hobbies we don't because the hobbies that we did were to escape our day-to-day work and lives. And so now that we're home all the time, we have no escape. We're now at home.
That's a good point.
Yes, I understand.
You know,
because I know there's a logical reason for why I and a lot of artists are not interested in making art.
yeah, because we're home at our workspace and we need to escape our workspace to find creativity.
So when we have a perception that the world is safe, then it's easier to play a game that makes you feel unsafe, like a violent or an aggressive video game. Is that kind of possible?
I've never been 100% fans of violent video gaming. I mean, I used to be, but not. It's just to the point of, okay.
You don't want to play your games on your Switch because it's too agitating. So you bought those games obviously at a time when it didn't bother you, or maybe it did. I don't know. So now that the world is different, then you don't want that extra agitation.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Like
one time it was fine, and so I guess the question is was the world really not agitated, or was just that we were all fooled into believing that because Costco's open, because you could go to a restaurant, because Disneyland was open, but people were still murdering each other. People were still behaving horribly, right? Bad things happened. Possibly more people were dying of other things than COVID, but we have this perception that it's the end of the world, right? It really isn't.
No.
I'm just asking. I'm not telling anybody how to feel, because I've been trying to chase down this definition myself for a long time. Like, why don't I feel like making the art I used to make?
I think it's more of the escape of leaving your own world. And now that the world is all in pandemic and we hear this COVID-19, no one wants to make their artwork because of the whole world's in peril, and we need to concentrate on that more than my own self-gain.
So more people need the the big pictures are more important than the little picture. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying, Fonda?
Raul?
It's just thinking.
Yeah. No, think about it. Don't. There's no quick answer. I've been trying to, process this. And behind every fear, there's some unreasonable level of expectation that's normally not even true.
Hmm.
So I don't know. And again, I have no answer. I just put it out there. But when I saw something on my daughter's account, one of her accounts, I thought, wow, yeah, that's totally it. The world is kind of like not okay right now, so I don't feel safe to. I don't know.
I just find time very precious, more than ever. I think it's a huge factor for me right now, and just realizing how much family really means.
So priorities.
So to speak. Even though I've been told don't worry about it, go ahead, do your thing, like meaning go ahead, play your video games, go ahead, do your thing, go ahead, take photos, and like, but it's not productive. It's not something that could, just say if I want to get a job, like a desk job or anything like that. And when it comes to like an interview, the interview will ask you, so what you do during the pandemic? If someone says they can play video games all day long, that's how it looks so good,
Yeah.
So I think my ideology is that just find something productive and do something that's worth your time, and that's going to probably be a good mention during like an interview process, possibly.
But there's many people that are professionals that have totally dropped the ball during the pandemic. I know a lot of teachers, they didn't do shit.
Well, what's funny is that like we were given this time of like, hey, we have 3 months of lockdown, and I knew a few people who were like, all right, like what should I do? Like, well, look at your hobbies, and like if you really hate your job, now's the time to find out how to make a business, how to be successful, how to run it, and just all that resources. Now that you have the time, you can do it.
Right. So you have more time because before you're too busy working, you're too busy in the head.
And then you get home and you're like, I'm too tired. I just want to watch a show and then go to bed.
Couldn't formulate a business plan or
so
take advantage of that. Hey, you're saying
go do your fun hobby. Go do your studies.
Yeah, I think that if you do a fun hobby, if you're able to, I don't think it's going to change the outcome of the world. It'd be different if your participation was somehow changing the outcome of the world that's supposedly sick.
Yeah. And I think that's what people like artists really want. Is like, I want to be that change that world person.
Yeah. But it's not really all or nothing, is it?
What?
It's not really all or nothing, truthfully.
Yeah.
This thing is going to have an ending, and it's sad how many people are dying. The thing I think about COVID that's interesting is that it's testing everything, Mm-hmm. It's testing our medical system. It's testing our government, like our form of government.
Yeah.
Testing what people do. You see people react to this disease and you think, I didn't think they would react this way. Or other people would think, I like the way they're reacting. And it's testing ourselves, like it's forcing us to, look at ourselves and look at our past and look at our future.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be testing all kinds of things. I don't know if it's the extra time or because we're being removed from, reality. What reality are we removed from? Getting a haircut, going and buying something at the store, and going to a restaurant. I had no idea that was so significant.
Yeah, well, I think
that's really all it is.
I think it's funny is that like our last pandemic was 1917 or around there, 1918, right?
Yeah, 1918. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Spanish flu.
It was more of like you really only heard more of the political stuff and the medical stuff, and not really people's day-to-day life of the pandemic,
Yeah.
and see where that hurts. And I think if people back then said, "Hey, here's what people should do for pandemics," like that will help them in the long run in the future.
Right. Right. You guys are smart, you know. That's why I ask you these questions. I'm not asking for an answer either. It's just, I'm just trying to process this thing. Like, what exactly am I afraid of? Why don't I want to make art? Why, you know? And I think that one thing is it's maybe a part of me didn't accept what happened.
Yeah.
You know, I think that, well, I'll make my picture when everything goes back to normal, but it's not going to go back to normal.
No.
This is the new normal.
Yeah.
Even when they open up concerts and, you know, dine in, and even when everybody's fine, we'll all be changed.
Yeah.
You know, so like either you walk down the road or you wait on the side of the road waiting for. And this is just I'm just asking. I'm not saying. You know, I'm trying to formulate a strategy too. You know, but you know, it seems like it's all about, you know, getting used to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, you know, people are walking into our houses and shooting us, which happens in some places, right?
Yeah, it's happening, and it's
Right.
very, very sad.
Some countries, right? That's a reality, right? I mean, your government could come in there and just and
That's reality to any country.
True.
If you look at the history, they've done that in history, in times of wars and in times of pandemics and outbreaks and stuff. They'll go in and like, okay, you're gone.
Yeah. Put a
But
new
we just
flag up, so to speak.
can't be scared of that.
No. This is not a very good topic compared to the worst photograph you could make, but you know, it's interesting.
Maybe I can find something.
Who could make the worst photograph? Me, Joey, or Raul? Who could make the worst photograph?
We need to get Don to judge it.
Who?
Don, the school teacher. Is that?
Oh, right. Yeah, he was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm shocked he's not teaching school right now. My kids are on. If I get kind of blurry here, it's my kids. They each have a different Zoom going on, or I don't know,
Okay.
Zoology or whatever it is, you know. But
yeah.
So we need a subject.
He's playing
What's
going back to school. Because I can't find a job. And anytime I look for a job, like an easy job, it's all the way in like Corona or in far away in LA or so, Thousand Oaks area.
yeah.
Why don't you look for a job? I'm like, I try. Here, look online. Look. See, it says Lakewood. And then I click on that one and it's like Warco.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean by that.
So
Sorry, I got messages again.
that's right. So I wrote down like things to go back to school for. And I was like art, photography, jewelry, business, entomology, drawing, history, photography, 3D CAD system, drone, or trade school.
How about teaching? You'd be a great teacher.
I never thought about that one.
No,
No.
you'd be a great teacher.
And then I put down from those, I got art, photography, business, or CAD. So we'll go down to 4. So I do have a history photography book that I need to start reading.
Right.
Wait, you're in that class, history class?
No, I have a book of it.
That's cool. I'm waiting. fall semester starts next Monday for me.
What are you going for?
I'm taking U.S. history currently.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Let's hope they didn't change it.
and
Who's your professor, Raul?
something Ramos.
Oh,
What's
okay.
his first name? But my textbooks could be free. It's free online, but I'd rather just buy the book and support the author
Yeah.
writers
Yeah.
because I'm just a believer of just supporting, you know. But anyway, the books costed me like $45 for 2 books.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't bad at all.
What where does it go
But-
through all of it?
So I think the discussions, if I had to guess, I think we're going to be talking about as early as the Revolutionary War,
Mhm.
the French Revolution, some parts of French Revolution, the South,
Okay.
1800s, the Civil War,
Mhm.
women's rights,
Okay.
Great Depression, World War II. And I think we're going to fast forward it to the 1960s and from the 60s movement to today's standards.
Yeah, nothing really happened in the 50s except for the Korean War. But
Should be interesting though. Supposedly this instructor likes to talk about current events. So
oh no.
yeah, it'll maybe be okay for me, but I'm hoping it won't be too overwhelming because if it is,
Because you can't take modern times thinking to like women's rights thinking back then, or modern time days into colonial days. Like it doesn't work. They just had a different mindset.
yeah. So it's gonna be interesting though. Nonetheless, I'm pretty excited. I'm no nervous because overall it's like over 800 pages to read.
Just say, "Oh hell, long live King George."
I think that's mentioned in the book.
Just
I
be
think.
long live King George.
Right now, you should take the hardest class that you can take in college because
That's what I'm doing. That's one of the hardest classes, I think.
it's online. Because, like math 20, something like that, or
I was
trig.
going to take math. I was going to, but I just don't think I have the patience to do math and actually focus.
Mhm.
It makes sense. I don't see myself
You
be
don't
able
have
to
to focus.
focus.
Say, "Hey Siri, what is the order of operations?" Oops, there goes.
No, you say, "Hey pewter, hey pewter."
That's funny. That's pretty comical.
Yeah.
But seriously though, I was going to take anthropology, but
Ooh,
it requires.
That's a tough one.
I was going to take that, then it says you got to do lab. Like, how's that going to work?
Might be easier because they can't make you do it the other way. I still got to do like a geology lab, and I should have done it because what are they
But
going to do? Go in your backyard, look at the stuff in your rocks. I mean,
I'm not sure what this is. This lab time does require for the class, and I don't know what that means.
go to a museum.
No, I'm serious.
or
Like,
they're doing or they're going to do some, it'll be really super safe. Like they'll do something where it'll be a reduced level of stuff you got to learn, probably in a very safe environment.
Probably.
if I had to go in person though for a lab time, I can't do that. That's the thing.
Oh,
Well,
I
if
can't
you
take
need
it.
help in history, let me know. Give me a text.
I'm actually planning to email my counselor and ask her if she could give me any details. What does that mean? Because I'm like I am curious
Mhm.
because I love science. I really do, or that kind of means of science. But at the same time, like, I can't take a chance of doing in-person stuff right now. I just can't. So I don't know. Yeah, I did have to email my teacher today to request some accommodations for me though.
Is this
I'm hoping-
Long Beach or is this Cyprus?
Cyprus.
Okay.
Yeah.
how many classes you taken?
Just one.
Oh, okay.
I've been taking one class at a time. I'm pretty ahead of the curve though. I'm like one class ahead right now because I took a summer school class.
Cool.
So that's one step closer of getting my AA and transfer.
Good.
because I
Yeah.
do want to transfer out.
I think I just
Yeah, we-
want to restart and just go somewhere else.
Easier said than done now.
It is.
Because you try to get financial aid, they do know you have X amount of units you already took, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I can't. I tried financial aid a couple of times, and they're like, "You did it wrong long time ago. What's up with this? Why are you messing up now?" I'm like, I don't know how to answer the questions.
Just be honest, like, hey, I just want a fresh start.
And then they're like, I was like, "Can you help me with the questions?" Like, no, I can help you with the questions.
Damn.
Yeah.
You just need the right person to help you with the answers.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody that, you know,
Yeah.
is watching this or is on campus that could tell you what to say.
And then I changed it too much, they said, for like the last time I did it. And they're like, well, you changed it too much. It's not adding up to your last FAFSA.
Nah, man,
I'm like,
that's a nightmare.
forget it. Screw it. I'm done.
But that's what they want you to do. They want you to give up. But if you're not a dishonest person, if you could figure out how to fix that, you know, if you
Yeah.
qualify, you should use that. That's what that's there for.
Right. So, I mean, I was doing it till like close to the end of the semester, and it's like, it's too late now. I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of wish I had some medical classes already done and over with, because supposedly Kaiser
Mhm.
Medical School in Pasadena, the first 2 years or 3 years is free tuition. And that
Wow.
tuition usually costs about $25 a year.
Wow.
But the thing is, you got to have these classes first to be done before you get enrolled.
yeah.
And I kind of wish I was able to do some medical classes, because I would totally jump in the bandwagon of free medical tuition.
Yeah.
That'd be wonderful.
They had when I was working at Cypress, they were doing the free first year for freshmen. Right.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
If you made the criteria, the school gets, Cypress High School gets their seniors to go into Cypress College for free for the first year. And there's one parent, it's like, is this a scam? I feel like this is a scam. I'm like, ma'am, it's not a scam. It's like, how do you know? I'm like, I work here, ma'am. I work at communications. It's not a scam. It's a real thing.
Right.
That's awesome.
Like, your daughter will have to get B's and higher to be complete for free, but it's pretty much free.
That's cool.
It's always nice.
Yeah, my foster brother has free college, but like, make sure you read the fine lines, because there's always something to deal with, and it says like you must average a C plus or a C or higher. If not, then you have to pay for that class.
Right. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Well,
So you have to do good in school. You have to, or they're like, no,
Right. And you have to have a full load.
you have to be a full-time college student. So
makes sense.
yeah.
Wow. Alrighty. Oy.
Excuse me.
Mhm.
Very good.
I got the hay fever.
That's not good.
Yeah, I always get it this time of year. Every year, it's right before or right when school starts. You know, I get really bad allergies.
Mhm.
Sorry to hear that.
That's okay. They go away. They come back. I'm
I'll
used to-
Oh, I don't have allergies, but certain perfumes and certain scents will make me sneeze.
Oh yeah, scent, man. For sure.
And so when I'm at the store and I smell that, like,
Yeah.
I'll sneeze in my mask, but like, people look at me and they take a few steps away from me. Like, are you sick? I'm like, no, just.
That reminds me of that reminds me of working at GameStop one time.
Mhm.
Some lady had some crazy perfume on. My throat started closing up, and she has to
Yeah.
ask me, questions, like, I can't answer you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad. Like I have to do this, and like I'd be back.
Yeah.
It took me about like 30 minutes to recover.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gnarly. The
And like,
Where I worked at the jewelry store, they had this little like oil scent thing that spreads out like the scent and stuff. I could not stand that
that's
thing.
gnarly.
Like this has to be on at all times. Like I cannot breathe with that on.
Right. That's one thing that these are good for is now when I'm out, it's nice to have a little mask.
Yeah.
The allergies, catches some of the pollen. It's a bit of a filter.
Yeah. We have one of those ones that go around your neck and above your face.
You have that? One of those?
Yeah. Long one.
Doesn't your beard constitute enough of a mask, Joey, or is it not?
Wish, man. No one allows it, but yeah, I have like
Oh man, that is a serious mask, dude.
so. It works. I like it.
It's like gym shorts.
Yeah, pretty much. But I don't think they'll stretch out to like gym shorts though.
I gotta wash my mask. I'm always saying that, but I don't wash it, and then my mask smells like hand sanitizer.
We wash these once a week.
I think I wash my mask like every 3 days. I think when I get the chance, or maybe every 3 to 5 days. I can't remember which.
If you have multiple masks, you're really supposed to wash them every day, aren't you?
Yeah, I know.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
This is true.
And the whole thing about we talked about before, I was in such denial about it. I would only get one mask. But you need a bunch of them, really, because this is going to be around for. I mean, if we're lucky, it'll be around for a year. Some people are saying 2 more years. Nobody knows. The answer is
It's never
nobody.
going to leave the country.
Huh?
It's never going to leave the country, but it's not going to be as bad as this.
But they'll get a vaccine for it, won't they, or something?
Yeah. They're working on a vaccine, and it works like that. We know like it'll be just any other vaccine for any type of flu, but it's not going to be like a pandemic anymore. It's just going to be like the flu season is here again, and now we have like 4 different types of flus that we have to worry about.
No, when do you think that would happen? Where it won't be a pandemic?
Probably like we joke around saying like the pandemic's going to end after the election.
You really believe that? Because if that were the case, that would mean this would be centrally created in the United States, but it exists in Japan, it exists in the Middle East.
So we just joke around like that, like, hey, what are you going to do after the elections? Because the pandemic's going to get lifted or so.
And I'm not denying that people are politicizing this. They definitely are on both sides.
Oh, no. This is a political game now. This is totally a part of the game.
But it is a medical situation, too, originally.
Yes. But I think it's going to still – I don't think we're going to be in a pandemic necessarily for like another year, but I think it's going to still keep on going for quite a while.
What would stop it from being a pandemic? Like my friend, our friend Phil, you guys talked to him on here.
Yeah.
He was saying that over there, they almost had it eradicated, and somebody came in from, I can't remember where, he said it on the talk.
Yeah, I remember that.
And now today he's saying there's like 3,300 have it now.
Wow.
So like they're not in on this. They don't care about an election.
Yeah.
In Argentina.
But I think it's just how it came out to be so close to the elections. They're moving it to as a political game.
Right. I mean, both sides use it as a political thing, but we're all human beings, and like you don't want somebody that you care about who's old to die from it.
Right.
It could kill. It is kill. It's killed over. How many in America is it? 300,000 now, or is that total in the world? I don't know. It's killed some people.
Right.
It's a lot.
But
That's
I totally forgot what I was talking about. But
Masks.
Oh yeah, masks. I was having a little mini stroke, but I'm better now.
No,
I
I wear this.
Okay, just joking.
I wear it for because we bought this before the pandemic to work at the barns because it's so dusty.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So when I go there, drop off my wife's like drinks or so or snack or something like that. It's like, hey, can you like sweep off one of the barns? I'm like, yeah. So
Hmm.
it's dusty, it reeks, it's dirt everywhere. So
Damn.
You know, Raul, I joke about things like that because I've always been forgetful. And, you know, I'm 56 years old and I could walk into a room and forget, you know, why did I walk in this room?
Oh, same
Or,
here.
you know, I just always been, and my daughter's kind of that way, you know, my son's not at all. So all the things, all the traits you hear about an old person, I've had them since I was very young, you know, forgetful, clumsy,
that's my brother-in-law.
kind of like I'm in a daze, kind of like I don't know where I'm at. I
My
was once at a
brother-in-law's a little
Walmart,
bit
and
too.
there's this woman that came up to me, and she worked at Walmart, and she said, "Are you okay, sir?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
No, you should have said something funny. What did I come in here for?
Yeah,
To find my name.
yeah. I don't know if it's blood flow, genetics, whatever it is. It's just something that I've always had, you know, just a little.
Probably genetics.
Yeah, my mom was that
If
way.
your daughter has it, then it's clearly genetics.
Yeah, exactly. So unless I'm just slumped over, I'm just joking when I talk about anything like a stroke or heart attack or something like that. And I'm pretty sarcastic, you know. I just about everything I say is half smirk.
Yeah. I think that's why we get along.
I had to ask.
No, I'm glad. Thanks for checking on me. I'm good though.
It's a real language that people don't understand.
Sarcasm?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, same here.
I'm so bad that people that maybe I've known them for a while and I'll get sort of sarcastic with them and they think I'm bullying them, you know,
Yeah.
and it's not. I mean, actually, people that are sarcastic, they get more sarcastic with people they like,
Yeah. So
which is weird.
my wife or my mother-in-law doesn't like sarcasm, thinks it's really mean or demeaning like that.
Yeah.
And so my wife's very sarcastic. And my mother-in-law said, like, I want you to meet a nice guy. I want you to be like this and like be like Prince Charming. And she's like polar opposite from her mother. And she's like, Mom, she told her, like, Mom, I'm gonna meet a guy like Tony Stark, but he's not gonna be mean. He's gonna be very sarcastic. Like, and then she's like, and then there was you. I'm like, then there was me.
You got the jackpot.
Yeah. So very sarcastic, very nice guy, but just sarcastic. So
I love it. Yeah,
I've been banned to be sarcastic at mom-in-law house. So I have to really hold my tongue.
I have uncles. They're dead now, but they were so sarcastic. I mean, God, they were sarcastic.
Yeah.
They could like just nearly call you an idiot, but they didn't really call you an idiot, you know. And you would
Jeez.
laugh and laugh. They're so friggin' sarcastic, you know. But I think it's intelligence on some level.
Yeah. You gotta be quick too.
Yeah, which I'm not. So, you know, sarcasm. I use it, but maybe you are one of these people that there are many more that are much better at it than I.
I got my sister really good one time because she was like calling me ugly and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, screw it. So it's like fine. Like, you don't wear the bag over your face because I wear the bag over your face because I'm more embarrassed to walk near you and how ugly you are. And I don't want to see my friends noticing that we're relatives or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And my mom's like, ow, dang. And my sister's like, dude, that hurt. Like, stop calling me ugly. Look in the mirror.
Wow. Yeah. It's
like
harsh, huh? Sarcasm's harsh.
Oh yeah.
But
Sometimes I miss the sarcasm.
You do?
I really do. But sometimes I don't, and sometimes I do. It's weird.
Yeah.
It really is.
If you want to see a really sarcastic show, watch Faulty Towers.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a good.
I think I've heard that before.
John
I
Cleese.
think.
It's
Yeah.
John Cleese, and he's a hotel owner. And him and his wife are just butting heads the entire time.
Yeah.
And I showed my friend this show, and she's like, Joey, how does it feel to look in a mirror? It's like, what? She goes, yeah, like that's like a picture mirrored of you and Rose. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, really? You guys are both that way towards?
Oh,
Other-
we're
That's
he
awesome.
can be mean though.
Right.
He gets to the level where it's like it's mean. I'm like, oh, that one hurt. That stung. You need to lower it.
If you like Faulty Towers, then maybe you would like any of that, Life of Brian or
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Major sarcasm.
Oh yeah. That was they read the Bible for Life of Brian, and like, yeah, for the following that they have and everything, we cannot make fun of Jesus.
Right.
We will get in trouble.
Yeah.
So instead of making fun of Jesus, we'll make a guy who everyone believes is Jesus, but he's not. And he tells everyone that I am not Jesus. Leave me alone. Like, yeah, that's the better plot line. So that's how they made Life of Brian.
Right. And they had a TV show when I was a kid, which might have already been in rerun. It was called
Flying Circus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That was super sarcastic. I like you're talking about Ben Stiller. There's what was that movie he was in where they're all superheroes?
Oh gosh, Mystery Men.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Oh
That's
god.
That's a
So
great
fun.
movie.
Have you
I
seen
actually
The
hated it
Boys?
when I first time I saw it, but I actually enjoyed it.
They're all sarcastic. They're like these superheroes, and what is it? He's the one that he has rage. He has uncontrollable rage.
Something like that.
And then
It's-
I don't know. They have all these different, non-violent. One guy goes invisible, but only he can see that it's invisible. But all that stuff. Spinal Tap.
Oh, Spinal Tap's great.
Yeah, Best of Show. All that stuff. Sarcasm.
Have you seen The Boys?
No.
So The Boys is
That's a crazy show.
superheroes who abuse their powers.
It's true.
Great. It's
I
on
think-
Amazon. It's amazing. Good story. Good writing. Great
Just-
production.
try
Just
that.
the first episode, the first 15 minutes is. Yeah. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. So if you have Amazon Prime, watch it.
It's not kid friendly show though. That's the thing.
Uh-huh.
Because the first 15 minutes I was like in shock. Let's put it that way.
Well, I
yeah,
love that. I mean, I have a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old. I'll guarantee you they're watching stuff that would shock me.
I'm sure they will.
I'm just looking
The
out
whole
because
kid-friendly thing. I think that started like when there was just Channel 2, Channel 4, and Channel 7. But now there's the internet, so
Yeah.
who knows what my children have seen?
I'm just looking out though. Because that first 15 minutes of that TV show is pretty. How do I describe it?
Yeah. Season 2 is supposed to come out soon. And I'm excited for season 2.
Here chimes again.
The Boys. I'll check that. I have Prime. I rarely watch Prime, so I'll watch it.
We'll watch we're watching, me and my wife, we're watching Hannah right now.
What is that about?
It's about this girl whose father's a special agent,
That doesn't sound very sarcastic.
special op agent.
Yeah.
And he ran away with his daughter and trained her in the woods. And so she's now about like 15 years old or so. So she knows nothing of the world, but she just knows how to survive in the woods.
Like total badass.
Yeah. So she's like crazy fighter and everything, but she doesn't know really like what to do in the world.
Was that similar to Wonder Woman?
No.
I was joking.
I kind of got that.
Wonder Woman's a good movie. That's one of the better DC movies out there.
When I used to go to Skatopia, that skate park,
Uh,
they filmed a television episode of Wonder Woman at Skatopia.
Really?
Yeah, and Linda Carter was there, and yeah, some skaters got to be extras in it and play stunt people,
Were
etc.
you an extra or no?
No, no,
That's
no,
big.
no. I worked there at the time, so I just show up to work, and the park
Okay.
was closed. It was a movie set for one day, or a TV set.
Cool.
Yeah. But that TV show was nothing like the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The early 70s superhero shows or the 60s shows were just awful.
Yeah. Campy.
Super campy. Like Batman and Robin. It's like pow, whap.
Yeah. No
Oh,
depth. At least
like they're fun. They're great to watch. Just like
yeah.
this is, but it's just
Yeah.
like Adam West, man. Great Batman.
If you like to read cartoon comics,
Yeah.
they did not relate, to those.
No, it did not. It related more to the comic book code Batman or the comic book code comics.
Yeah.
That's about it. You know, like you can't like Watchmen was like forbidden at that time. But like you read it now, like wow, this is pretty gruesome book.
Right.
Like I just recently watched the movie. I was like, wow, this is a great movie. I forgot how good this was.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, I read like graphic novels because I don't read like comic books. I just wait till the whole edition's out and then I buy the graphic novel.
Okay.
And so, I read like comic books where like, yeah, this is not comic book code friendly at all.
I'm still here. I just got a message. I just got to catch my messages up. I apologize.
Cool. That's cool. I'm actually helping somebody troubleshoot a skateboard photography rig as we're speaking.
Photography rig.
Yeah.
Isn't it very simple? Just like
Oh, it's tricky because the key to it is you have to have fast sync on this flash.
right.
So you can't just put like a Canon flash on top of a Canon camera. It's got to be, you have to use something that interferes with that fakes the sync out.
Well, that's when you need the slave and master, right?
Yeah, that would help. Although Canon changed the name from Slave and Master to something else.
Of course they did.
But there's so you go third party, that'll help that. And there's trickery you can do. There's sometimes you can take a little tape and put it over a certain post and
Yeah.
that'll shut off something, and so there's all kinds of little tricks. You have to kind of tweak each system.
Gotcha.
But it's not so bad because in that you were talking about carrying stuff. The nice thing about shooting a skateboard picture in general, they're using a fisheye, so you're standing really close. So that means the flash can be close too because
Yeah.
you'll be in the shot. So you don't need a big, super expensive, portable light. You can get away with a speed light or like a strong speed light, or a couple of them, and you can pretty much overpower.
Fisheye and external flash is not my thing. I have problems with that.
Fisheye and what?
And a flash, off-camera
Gotcha.
flash.
Why
I
is
had,
that?
Like, for some reason, every time I use it, I had like really bad effects of getting like a spotlight effect look, which
That's
I didn't.
exactly what she's
don't
talking
mind.
about. Yeah, that so you have to widen the beam or diffuse it, or stand closer.
I mean, I don't mind, but at the same time, like it's like, yeah, it's overwhelming actually.
Yeah,
It's great. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't.
right.
I don't know. It's like a hit or miss
Oh, it's
for
so
me.
wide that you can see you're able to see the, what do they call it, the entire light, right?
Mhm.
That's the problem.
It's weird. It create like a super hot spot on their heads, when I did portrait.
Oh, you were doing portrait with the fish?
Yes.
How bold.
Yeah, I know, right? It was just pure experimental. It worked out, but at the same time, it just never worked.
It certainly compromises with that. Like if a skater's skateboarding and they're doing for balance, they're putting one hand like that. This hand, look how gigantic it is. Look how small this one is.
Mhm.
And then this hand, my God, it's so friggin' bright, So then you got to move your light somewhere where it's not
Yeah.
going to illuminate this hand so much.
Take a look.
It's a huge.
Okay, I'm done with that message. Sorry. You see again?
Will you be able to do like a like how like a regular light pole looks like effect?
You mean straight up and down?
Yeah.
You can, but then you get the whole thing about when I shoot, it's so bright. It's 12 o'clock sun most of the time, so you want to get almost a clamshell reflection going back up.
Gotcha.
So my lights are really low, and they're they're pretty powerful.
Mhm.
Lately I've been using those Godox lights, and I believe they do 150 watts at full power. But they're so darn close, it's no big deal. It's just that what Raul's saying is true. You do begin to see the the shape of the light. So you have to either diffuse it or I like to use what do they call it? The thing you put on the light that just directs it. Well, I have one right here.
It's like a snooked.
Well, no, just a regular old reflector. Like this is my setup.
Okay.
Nice.
So you got the bare bulb in there, and then you just have this, this thing will, it'll block. I can have some control over, because the concrete's always too bright, and this thing always spills on the concrete. So you can tip it up a little bit so you don't get so much on the concrete and blah blah blah, and
Makes sense.
And that thing will sink to like nearly infinity. But it gets darker the
Mhm.
higher the sink. So in reality, you can probably sink maybe 2,000 shutter on that and be okay.
Wow.
Yeah, Godox is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I actually finally invested in one earlier this year, and I was very impressed.
Pretty amazing, and they run forever. I've dropped that thing a few times. I own a bunch of them. I guess I have 3 or 4, and I have a bunch of old quantum flashes.
Mhm.
Can't give them away anymore. Quantum.
Yeah.
That quantum flash, the battery and the flash was like $1,700, just one unit, and I've got two. I got 2 of those, and now they're,
Priceless.
you can't throw them away.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I do have some power packs. Was it Norton power pack? I actually found some in my garage. Like, oh, I know what to do with this. This is taking up too much space.
Oh, it's old. They're big ones.
And the Norton packs or the red packs, yeah, it's pretty heavy. It's like 2,000 watt seconds. Or I can't remember.
Maybe take them if they're. Are the cells still working, or is it dead?
I honestly don't know. I'm scared to test them out. I don't cause a short fuse in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
This is my flash right here. This is the only one I own.
Hey, it works.
It does, and then it does this. It can go downwards and upwards.
You can always get like a piece of, well, maybe not. You probably can. You can probably use a napkin as a diffuser. But the thing is, though, that thing can get pretty toasty pretty quick.
Yeah, that thing does get hot fast.
Just, oh no, I've done it before. I used a napkin before as a flash diffuser, and it created an unusual yellow turquoise.
I'll usually plan it up when I shoot. That way it's not directly on them. And so I'll get the ceiling as my diffuser and bounce.
Sure.
That
Yeah,
works.
that's a nice light.
Yeah.
You could put a little, colored paper over that thing.
Yeah, I have a bunch of gels, and Juan has a bunch of my gels that I need to get back from.
Juan does?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I bought a sample pack, and I taped them or laminated them because I just bought a thing of Scotch tape, like clear Scotch tape, and I just one top of another, and
Sweet.
I put Velcro on it so that way like I can Velcro it to anything.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah, that works.
It worked. Took me a couple of hours to do it, but I got it, and I was like, Juan wanted to do something with it, so I'm like, here you go, Juan, just take my whole set, give it back to me whenever. He still has it. It's been like 4 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I saw Juan right before this whole COVID thing broke out. It was Juan. I had lunch with Juan. Larry Hack was the one that invited me, and Zajac.
Okay.
Yeah, and they, yeah, I was right there at the burger place over on Valley View and Orange Slope. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. It's right there.
What's it again?
Tammy's?
What is it?
Tammy's?
I
For
can't.
hamburger?
It's a hamburger joint, whatever. It's, you know, right next to Starbucks right there. But it was trippy seeing those dudes, you know. And at that time, what's his ass? Zajac, he was pretty aware of COVID. The rest of us were like not really aware of it. Zajac gave me the fist bump, and I was all, "What's with that, dude?" But he knew. He was right.
Yeah, I started preparing that mind frame back in end of November, December.
So you were hearing about it back then?
I was following that very, very closely on it.
Oh.
And by January, that's when I really took a little nervous toll. Like, okay, this is pretty serious. Then Kobe Bryant's death took place. And you just see a ticker at the bottom of the screen on the news saying it's gone in China. And like, whoa, this is pretty serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Had things like that happen before that, you know, was it SARS and all that, and never like this, you know, where everything shut down.
Yeah. Even with the Ebola outbreak, like, well, outbreak, it was like, it wasn't as bad as this.
Yeah.
It was intense. But, damn.
Well, anyways, that's the last time I saw those dudes. And as a matter of fact, Larry Hack invited me to go have lunch with him and Zajac at the fish place by my house. What is it called? The, you know, that fish
grill?
Fish market.
Okay.
They have outdoor dining, you know.
I can't do that.
Where's our invite? Come on, Larry. Where's our invite, Larry?
I'm glad you guys.
It was too last minute, you know.
Yeah.
So, so far I've only dined, well, except when I went to Stamos' house, I've only dined with my family.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I have friends over. I have family over. We go to places, so we're more carefree about things, but we're still cautious, but we're still carefree about stuff.
And your sister got it.
My sister had it, and she's well from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
She's re-sick again, but with something else.
Yeah.
She has another cold.
Right.
And my family's coming down from Texas with both my nieces, so she can't see both of her nieces.
Because she had it, or she's sick?
Well, no, because she's sick now.
Oh, okay.
And they're going through a road trip, so they don't want two sick girls on going back to Texas by car.
Yeah, that's tight quarters. Yeah, that makes sense. My next door neighbor's a pastor, and his church was out of commission since, you know, this thing started, and he's one of the churches that decided not to go back when they were all told to, and he actually had church at the house.
Yeah.
2 Sundays ago.
Yeah, tell them to do a peaceful protest.
They had to put they took the temperatures, they had masks.
Yeah. Tell them to do a peaceful protest at the church building.
You are?
Do a peaceful protest at the church building. This church did it. They're like, hey, if people can do this, people can do rioting, if people can do protesting, like, so can a church. And so it's like, this is a peaceful protest at a building, and they had the sheriff's minister there too to do the opening prayer to say like, hey, this is a protest. A cop is here to help with the protest, make sure it's peaceful.
Yep.
Did the opening prayer and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. And back to our conversation about vitamin D. So some people are thinking that it's being spread more indoors than it is outdoors. So like
It's close quarter to more people indoors than outdoors.
that's true.
Yeah.
But nobody really knows, but that's what they're theorizing that because again, of like all these people at Laguna, Huntington, all these different beaches, they're all going there every day this week. It's it's 100 degrees or nearly that. If
Well,
it really,
if
you
you
know,
look at a class like a kid's classroom, right? If one kid's sick, all the kids around that kid is going to get sick somewhat. And then,
pretty good odds.
Yeah.
Seems like we're not experts, but
But
seems like it's probably
you
true.
do the math too. If math is true.
No, I know. It seems like when somebody gets it, like in a meat packing plant, everybody gets it.
Yeah.
So it seems pretty catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's windy, where you guys at or what?
Well, and over here it's a little cloudy, which is nice because man, it was so friggin' hot a couple days ago.
It's cloudy today here, and a
Same
little
here.
breezy. Might go in the pool today. So
Nice.
yeah, we went yesterday. Ooh, that was great.
The water's got to be friggin' hot right now, isn't it? No,
Cool.
Still cool.
Yeah, it's not cold, but it's cool.
Oh, good.
It's humid over here.
Hmm.
I don't want to take a
August
chance.
is that way. Pretty humid in August.
Yeah.
It could be gnarly like August and September, heat wise. I don't love the heat. I'm more of a cold person than heat.
Same.
Chubby people don't
Same here.
like
Same. I love the cold.
what I tell people.
I'm a heater.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm still a body heater anymore or not because I lost so much weight.
No, I've always been a heater. Me and my friend always anytime we got in the car, we just turn on the AC. Like, even if it was winter outside, we still turn on the AC. We're heaters.
So let's keep thinking about this terrible picture, and then we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do a challenge at some point.
Okay. Let Don know. He's a
I
teacher.
will. The worst picture, and we'll try to get a thing going. Maybe by next week or the week after, we could have a deadline or something.
Make it a week. Make it challenging.
Right. I can see that. I thought about trying to make a challenge every Monday, so that even if just 2 people do it, it's still educational and
No, seriously, you should do a week deadline from now. That way you feel pressured.
Okay,
And
next week we're gonna look at the worst picture you could make. The worst picture that you can make. Bring it next week, and I'll put the word out in case anybody else wants to participate. Awkward, horrible, embarrassing, worst image.
bring it on.
No
I'll do it.
half-ass shit here, guys. Good stuff. High quality, horrible photography.
I call it horrible photography.
That's such an oxymoron. It's fantastic. It's
I'm gonna
funny.
go rustle up some food.
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
not good.
make
Spam's wearing out.
and work on my book.
I gotta check on Mom. See how she
Before we
holds
go,
up.
I have one question. Do any of you guys know about this? I'm sure it's not going on anymore, but there was this outdoor art book thing that happened once a month. It was like an art book swap meet. Was someone
No.
passed it? Did any of you guys ever hear about that?
That's
Where's it
news
at?
to me.
Okay. I'm just trying to find if that's still going on. I've been sort of wanting to look into getting a new photo book, just to look at.
I know the swap meet still at Cypress College still goes.
Oh yeah, that's been going since the day they opened it up.
Surprises me.
That thing's been going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That really surprises me.
Yeah. Well, they're out there, and not everybody's wearing a mask, you know. But I think that if a lot of people got it there, I think they would shut it down, which means maybe it's not so catchy outside.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, it would be traced back to that location. Because don't they do that? If you get it, don't they try to
Yeah, they
trace?
start asking questions, and then
Uh-huh. Your sister went through this,
get it. Where are you at?
right? Because if it all happened in one place, you got to stop that place.
Hmm.
I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that's been going on ever since it opened up like 2 months ago.
Mhm.
Because I use that ATM, so I never go there on a Saturday or Sunday. It's too crowded. I use that teacher's credit ATM. You know.
Gotcha.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's totally nobody goes there normally, so nobody hardly touched that machine. But yeah, ever since it went open, they've been doing that swap meet full blast, but not super crowded. Not a lot of people shopping there. Mostly vendors
Yeah.
because they're probably desperate. You know, they weren't working for like what?
That's
3 or
probably
4
also the majority of their income too.
Yeah, yeah, certainly a part of it. So, anyways, you know. All right.
Alrighty. So
Bring
week.
it. Next time, next Monday, the worst picture you can muster up, and not an old one. It's got to be one you shoot. Shoot a new horrible image.
All right.
I'm going to work
Jeez.
on that too. It better be shitty, guys.
Good God.
Sarcasm, just sarcasm. All right. I'm
All
going to
right.
push the button. See ya.
All right.
Bye.